Hello, gamers, and welcome to episode 491 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for May 24th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co host, Dominic Stallworth. What's been going on, Dominic?
All right, so I know we missed a week, but we're gonna just cover it. But yeah, man, it's been a lot going on. It's been a cool couple of weeks for me because it's been the 1 week it was like really well, for me it's hot. It was hot.
Yeah.
But now this week, like 2 weeks ago, was like hot, and then this week is like really cool. I was like, oh my god, praise Jesus, praise Jesus. And like this is the weather I want. I want somehow like it. I don't care about the science or anything. I just want it to be somehow this weather all through the summer, and then people, yes, the scientists would be all confused, but I wouldn't care. I wouldn't even care. This is unexplainable how it's 6 degrees throughout the whole summer. I wouldn't even give a damn about it being unexplainable. It's like, oh, praise God, because I hate the heat. I hate sweating. I hate the humidity and all that stuff. God, and we did have this nice week. I didn't look at the weather for next week to see what's going to happen, but I was like, at least I get a little taste of
Still supposed to be pretty weather. Cool.
Oh, cool. That's good too then. So I'll get these few weeks before hell breaks loose, and then I'll just be sweating bullets all the time and having the air conditioning full blown on me. All right. Now let's get into sports. So, as far as the baseball season, like this was not what I saw coming. Now, I think most Orioles fans did see coming. Now we knew that pitching was going to be a problem, but we didn't think we thought it was going to be more frustration than this freaking collapse.
The downfall that we have of our dynasty.
Yeah, like that from both sides of the ball. I mean, like it's one thing to have pitching, our pitching be bad. We have that excuse, but the bats being cold too is like, man, you can't have both, man. You got something needs to give. And then the times that pitching is good, our bats don't really come through, and vice versa. But more times than not, it's really it's been the bats. Though recently, I will say that we have been probably getting some hits in, and the pitching has failed us. But it's like a fail where it's like, man, we giving up a lot of runs, and it's like, yeah, I didn't see that. I just saw it's like, oh, we'll lose maybe 5 to 6 or 7, or even like 4 or 5 or something like that. But not when teams scored like the Red Sox yesterday scored 19 runs. But here's the thing: I was watching the whole game, and it was we were leading, I know 2-1 for a while, and then Red Sox got the lead, but I think it was like 3-2 or something like that, or 4-2. But this is going to the 8th inning though, and then they scored like 13 runs in that inning, just to not give us hope for the top of the ninth, because we were at Boston. Now I had stopped watching when it was 8-4. Or was that 8 to? Yeah, because I think Orioles got some runs. I think it was 8-4. Yeah. And I stopped watching, and I was like, darn, man, they scored some more runs. Like I think we were only down by like one run, like 5-4 or something. Then they scored some runs, got 8-4. I stopped watching. I said, forget it, man. I said, darn. Next I know, I looked at the final score. I saw 19-5. I was like, what the fuck happened? I was like, how the hell? They kept scoring. Apparently they kept scoring. Yeah. I was like, good God. I said, and that was the start. That was the first game of a double hitter. So I was like, oh my God. And a lot of people say, I ain't watching this second game. But the double hitter, it got rained out again, because that was for a rain out. And then that game got rained out, the original time game. And so now they have a double hitter today. And I'm like, man, I hope it goes better today, because god darn, that was pretty bad. And we had some pretty bad games, get up a lot of runs, man. And it's just not been good. Also, we leave a lot of runners in scoring position. Like, that's just been horrible. But like I said, in recent games, it's been better. but yeah, is this team is like I think like the Colorado Rockies are only the worst team than us. They still have not won double digit games yet. Um, and they fired their manager. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention because we didn't do a podcast last week. The
Mhm.
Orioles fired their manager. Um, Hod is gone. I know a lot of people were happy with that. The only one game since he's been gone. That was just 2 days ago. When they won. Um, and I don't. I mean, like a friend of mine. I know he really wanted him gone. And I mean, like I said, there's a lot of people who want him gone. I particularly didn't. I didn't know. I mean, I knew a change had to happen, and I knew that he was going to be the first to go. I never really disliked Todd too much, really. Like I didn't really dislike it because first of all, I was like he took over a team that was rebuilding, so they sucked, and it was purposely sucked. They was going to suck because they had to get some guys. Then he helped them towards becoming prominent again. Hell, we won 101 games, and maybe won 90 something games. But yeah, there were some decisions I figured like yeah, there were that he did wrong about this lineup and stuff like that. I was always questioning how he was using Jackson, one of our number one prospects, like how he didn't let him hit against left-handed pitchers because he wasn't like that good against them. But it was like he's a rookie, and he's our top guy, like the number one pick. It's
Right.
like you might as well play him because he can get better at it.
Right.
And like you don't use a number one pick as a utility player. That's weird. Uh, I mean that early in their career anyway. So but yeah, something had to happen. But I knew it wasn't all his fault. I know it was Mike Elias' fault too, the general manager, for not getting anybody. Like you can't rely on young guys on a baseball team. I've never seen a team that was just like, oh, this is a bunch of young guys and they won a World Series. Like you need to mix it up with veterans. You need to get some other players in here. Um, and sometimes the prospect of hey, maybe they start off hot or maybe they start off slow. Who knows? But they don't always do well because like Ali Watchman is not doing well right now. Well, I think recently he just got some hits, but overall this season, Ali Watchman, he's our catcher, has not been doing well, and he's supposed to be a whole lot better than this. Gunnar Henderson started out real slow this year. It seemed like he's getting on. Jackson's been really good this year. Like this is like his breakout. He's not really he played too many games last year to be considered for rookie of the year for this year. But yeah, he's looking good. Cedric started out real good, Cedric Mullins, but then he went cold. Like Cedric fought hard. Like it's like darn man, you couldn't just like gradually do bad. But he's coming back a bit. Like he's okay. O'Hearn, our DH slash every now and then he come in as a first baseman. He's been doing good. He's been pretty good consistently. Like with at bats, what we expect from him. But like this overall, the team has not been producing. Like I said, we're running scoring position. We're getting on base, but if somebody's on second and third, it seems like we have a hard time getting them home. And yeah, there's some things that Brandon Hyde did, but like I said, Mike Elias, the guys he got or didn't get, which is really a lot, is like, man, you had this team, and it's always a small window. Like with these players, you could have did that. And hold on, there's some noise that's just bothering me over here. All right, um, and yeah, it's like you missed it. So I don't know. A lot of people really called for his head too. There was like, yeah, you got this guy. He is not working out. Like you didn't get anybody in the off season to improve the team. And now like the team is just fall really flat. Is like, darn, or now we don't know if like, whoa, are some of these guys are as good as they were? Or that was just a small stint. They were good, for those years, and then that's it. I don't know. Some guys we had let go or we have traded, they have looked better, on other teams too. So it was like that's frustrating. And like I was like, I don't want to see that again. And for us to be this bad, I mean, it's like, darn, we just get 2 years and then we're almost going as bad as we did when we just were the worst team for like 5 years straight before this stint, before these last 2 years. Well, technically three because 2022 we had a good year. We had a winning record. We just didn't make the playoffs, but that was a surprise year. Um, that it's like what the hell, man. Yeah, man. Just it's bad. Plus, it happened this early. It's like, darn, man, the season just started, and like this is what people have been waiting for. I've been waiting for this. I was like, because I had no basketball, so now I got nothing. It's like, darn, man, I got nothing this was saying. I've been sort of living vicariously through the San Diego Padres, really, because like I said, I like Manny Machado. He's been doing great this year. Him, Tatis Jr. Been looking good on those Dodgers chains. But though they have been on like a loser streak, they finally stopped the loser streak. They were on a little loser streak though, but they're still a competitive team. Like they just beat the Braves yesterday to stop the loser streak. Dodgers are Dodgers. They're pretty damn good. Phillies are, I think, technically has the best record in the MLB. Detroit Tigers are doing good, are really good. They're playing a series against the Indians. I don't know who won the first game of that one. I was watching it, but I turned it. Yeah, man. I mean, there's some other teams out there. That's just so frustrating too. Seeing like, look, Detroit Tigers are getting better. It's like it's like, come on, man. We can't be going backwards. And it's like seeing these teams like really, it's the Yankees aren't really even dominant. Really, they just lost. Well, Colorado Rockies finally won another game, and it was against the Yankees. Thank God. At least they got that. Yeah, and our only winning series is against the Yankees for us. So that's the only good thing that's really happened
Yeah.
this year. And yeah, it's like the American League is no really dominant team right now. It's still early. And National League, it's I guess teams are finally like somewhat catching up as record wise. Nobody has really fully like gone ahead like yet. We're still in the early stages of that. Though we know like Dodgers are going to go. They're good. Shohei Ohtani's one of the best. Mets have been doing really good, even though the guy they just paid all that money to, Soto, has been doing bad though, and people are really getting on him because it seemed like he's just not into the game. Like something's wrong with him. Like he's not doing good at bats, and there's some of his play like he's not. He wasn't running hard at first base. You know, people really don't like that, especially if you're not doing well. If you ain't doing well, because like one time he just looked at a ball he thought was a home run, so he wasn't really running, but it hit the top of the Green Monster. They were in Boston, so it's like he could have got a double if he would have ran, but he thought the ball was out. So like fans don't like that, and yeah, just media getting on him and New York and stuff, and because like you're one of the highest paid players or the highest paid player as of right now. Excuse me. So it's like, dude, yeah, and it's New York too. Even though it's Mets, it's still New York. It's like bad. Like that's not a good sign. I like Soto, but I say that's not good. I mean, luckily the team is doing okay. Like they're doing all right, but they're behind the Phillies. They were ahead of the Phillies. They're behind them. It's like I said, it's early. They're only about like single digits or so. Um, like it's competitive. That's going to be interesting division because I want to know if Atlanta's ever going to find himself because they did get Acuna back, their best player, because he was out most of last year because he got hurt and now he finally came back and he got a home run I saw last night against the Padres. But yeah, they so between those three teams, yeah, that I'm really want to see. And then you got the Nationals who they're not they're not going to go to the playoffs or anything. But they are competitive sometimes. Like they have players that can be competitive, and like that could be like some of those losses could really probably hurt those teams, you know, for the division. So yeah, I mean it's still a fun baseball season though. Like if you're just a baseball fan, still a lot of things to see. Um, so yeah, but it's just disappointing that it's not my team, and that sucks. All right. My friend convinced me to watch NBA playoffs because he said, "Look, This is the playoffs you always wanted, even though you kind of done with the NBA. But this is it. It's like none of the huge stars are
Yeah.
in it. All the big market teams except for New York are really out of it. And but they guess New York Knicks hasn't really won championship since before we were born, like in what the late 70s. So the so it's like it's different. So it's like, oh, this is new. Like this is New York versus Indiana, which is like that kind of harkens back to the days of like when the 90s with Miller, Reggie Miller, going against the Knicks and them, and yeah, doing that stuff, and then they had a good game. There was two good games. They had, and Indiana beat them both times, and then they beat the first game. The guy Halliburton, one of Indiana's like probably their best player overall. Um, they were down by two, so they had the ball. He got into the lane like to go. He could have got the shot up a two, but he backed out. And like it wasn't like a step back. He had to dribble out. That's how far he was, from the 3 point.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, what the hell is he doing? I was like, dude, you're right there. Why are you going back for the win? And then he shot the ball. It bounced up in the air, and then but it went in.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my God. I say, it's like almost he knew he was going to make that or something like that. But he did step on the line. So it was a 2 pointer. And so it comes like, what the hell? Why? What the hell was that was a stupid ass shot. You could have just took a easier two to make. Like, if he would have missed that shot, he would have been killed. Like they would have killed him in the media. Like, because it was so dumb. Because I was a little confused. At that point, like, I saw him go back, I was doubting myself, saying, like, oh, they're not down by two. They must have been down by three. Oh, shit. But, yeah, I was like, why'd you take that shot? It was still a stupid shot. Thank God he made it, but it was a dumb shot. And they went to overtime, and they won. They won. The Knicks were fighting, though, but they're not winning. They were down by 17 in the fourth quarter. And they came back because I even was telling my friends, like, man, it's over. It was like 5 minutes left. I think they were down. They were down by double digits then. But you say, hey, it's not over. Man, it's some. I don't know what the guy's name is because I don't really know the players. This guy for the whole game was 8 of 9 from 3-pointers. Only missed one. He made 6 in the fourth quarter. Like, he got them back in the game. And like, man, also Halliburton did the choke, the Reggie Miller choke thing, like Reggie Miller did with the Knicks, saying that they choked. It's funny. I mean, it's like, but like somebody says, hey, these young kids, they ain't creative though. They're always just doing well the old guys done. It's all the old guys. But yeah, but it was a good game. The second game, I didn't really watch strong enough. I had it on in the background. So I actually don't even know what the end score was. I just know I saw Indiana interviewing. So I was like, oh, they must have won again. So it's pretty bad for the Knicks. They had a home court. And they lost both their home games. So they're down 2-0 going to Indiana. So yeah, they got a tall order. Like I really thought the Knicks were going to take them. Now I don't know. I don't know. And it wasn't Halliburton this time who was the big guy. It was Siakam, because he actually didn't do well the first game, and he came up huge this game. The other series, the Thunder, who are I think they had the overall best record in the NBA. They up 2-0 on the Timberwolves, which I was kind of hoping Timberwolves at least take one of them. I was kind of more so rooting for the Timberwolves to win this series. I'm still kind of, but it's not a big deal for me though, because I like none of these teams I don't dislike or anything, and I just want to see some competitive ball. So the Timberwolves hasn't been that competitive though much with the Thunder. The Thunders, man, they've been handling it like that. Shane Gilgeous-Alexander, he's Canadian, and he is looking awesome. Like, he is looking great, man. He won the MVP for the NBA. They also got this guy named Chet Holmgren. I forgot where he's from. He's from a foreign country too, but I think he's European. Um, like that dude's he's their center. He's great, man. He's a great guy. Like they they did what I want the Wizards to do. Like they sucked for a while, but they got some players and they built a good team. While we just suck and we continue to suck. Uh, so that's and so like that was another reason I should stop watching. Is like, hey, the team that I actually root for it just doesn't seem like I don't see no improvement. Also, I don't see them improving because I think the NBA fixed the draft because the Dallas Mavericks got the number one pick in the draft. They were now draft is a lottery. Now the teams that are have the worst records have a better chance of getting the first picks or the top picks because they lost the most games. So they had the most either balls or wherever how they do it. That's supposed to happen.
Unless you lose your best player and then you get more balls in
there. That doesn't seem like
not lose unless you
Dallas
give away
had like a
player.
1 point something chance of getting the first pick. I forgot what the odds were. I don't know, it was 1 point or 8 point chance. I forget what it is. It was something very low compared to those other teams. And like basically the top three losing teams did not even get the top 5 picks. That's the thing.
Wow.
Like not even one of them. And they had the better chance of getting them. And Dallas Mavericks, who lost, Luka to the Lakers. Well, I said lost. They gave Luka to the Lakers. Yeah. They get the number one pick. And it's like, how they do that? Now, long time ago, you used to be able to see the when like the lottery pick, like you would actually see the actual them picking the ball up or like something, see the name they picking up. This is now it happens to close doors of the system, but they have an auditor that checks, so there can be no collusion. So that's what the internet's telling me, and some people they're saying they can't fix this because of that reasoning. Also, because I listen this radio show I usually listen to, and the guy said that NBA cannot fix this because they can't do any other fixes because there will be too many people talking about it. They could not keep it a secret. It'd be impossible to keep it a secret if they were doing fixes, which I sort of disagree with because I feel like you're right. Like, a lot of things we hear about in our history, like with some collusion or something go wrong, we hear about it. But does that mean we always hear about it? Because how do you know everything comes out if it doesn't come out? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm sure there's some things that's happened that nobody knows yet officially. I mean, just because we hear shit happen all the time, it just means that could be more still other shit that we just don't know. Now, with this, it's not like you don't need a lot of, I don't know if you need a lot of people to be in on it. And who knows? And who's to say that it doesn't come out? It's just about when. Maybe it's about when it comes out. If it does, maybe it won't come out in your lifetime. And then maybe like 20 years later, we'll find out, oh, they were doing this all this time. And I don't know, but I'm just saying this is too suspicious, though. I was like, this is a huge coincidence that this happens to this team. Yeah. Like, that's just luck. Because, and then you go back in history, because even LeBron said that he thinks that the lottery was fixed for him to get on Cleveland. Like, he believes that. For him, he says that ain't proof, but he's happy. I thought that all the time. and I thought that with sometimes with the Spurs when they were getting some top picks, like with the last guy they got, I thought that was kind of like, oh, they're going to the team where they always do well. Team that seem to do well with foreign players. Like the Spurs seem to always, they're like known for that. And then they get this top foreign French guy, and I was like, this part was fixed. But yeah, I don't know. It's like you telling me just because because it wouldn't be kept secret. Like nobody would keep their mouth shut. It's like I don't know. I mean, I just can't believe that referee, who came out with it, like said he was fixing games for gambling and stuff like that. Like he was the only one.
Right.
Like I can't believe that. I'm sorry. And I mean, maybe you can't get people say maybe get people that shut their mouths for a long time. You got the right people to say it, to not talk. I mean,
Yeah.
shit. I mean, shit could happen. I mean, you could just say, you could always say like they couldn't keep their mouth shut. But I was like, yo, just because in history you have seen things where things got out, it doesn't mean everything got out. And like that's just not how that works. It's like all the time. It's like some things maybe just get kept secret for a longer period of time, or maybe forever. All depends on what it is, or it might come out a lot later. But I'm sorry. I mean, it's just too many. Like in professional sports, it's just too much stuff that happens for me to say that like nah, it's not. There's no type of collusion of like anywhere. Like I can't believe that. And I mean, and you may like say, oh, this conspiracy nutcase or something like that. I don't really think it's a conspiracy, really. I mean, I guess it is technically, but I just think it's just what it is. It's just like them trying to get the most out of like their product and making it things happen to make it that way, like to make it
Yeah.
good. That's all I think. Because why would they change? Why would all these things probably change their names from like a sport to like just entertainment and like um for law, like for legal reasons? Like why would you do that then? If you um at some point like there might be something that comes out where you have something to defend yourself saying, hey, we were just entertainment. But yeah, it's just yeah, whatever. Um but yeah, so that's it. NFL news, I haven't been paying attention really to that. Because like I said, I'm not really into the off-season stuff. I'm just into the games. So none with that. Oh, my Capitals lost, so well, I say my Capitals, but the team I usually root for in the playoffs, Capitals, they lost in the second round to Carolina, so I'm done watching hockey. So that is it. So what's going on in wrestling?
There's a lot of wrestling going on this weekend. You've got a Saturday night main event coming on tonight as recording this. That's the WWE event. I think that's going to be headlined by John Cena versus R-Truth. That should be an interesting match. R-Truth has been doing this thing for a while now where his childhood hero was John Cena, and him becoming a heel is turned his back on him and the fans.
Sure.
Obviously, R-Truth is older than John Cena, so that's
That's
not.
why I was very confused, Daniel, because I was looking up the
Yeah,
age. I was looking about to look up his age. I was like, childhood friend. I mean, childhood
yeah,
hero. I was like, what the hell?
yeah, yeah. I mean, R-Truth's character nowadays is just like
Yeah,
kind of
that's
silly,
me.
wacky
LeBron
guy.
James is my childhood hero.
Exactly. Um, although LeBron is actually older than you, right?
Yeah,
By a
well,
couple of
like
years.
just
Okay.
months, like
Yeah.
months.
Oh,
He
months.
was
Jeez.
he was
Okay.
he was December. He was December,
Okay.
but he was
Gotcha.
part of our class. He was in the class because
Mm,
he was a late baby of '84.
right. Jeez. Okay. Um, but yeah, so that should be fun. I mean, R-Truth doesn't get a lot of chances to wrestle necessarily. He's really there for the comedy shtick most of the times. But he is actually decent in ring, and as long as
Okay.
they
Yeah, he's the
make this
one
an
who was on Shannon
interesting
Sharp,
match.
the Shannon Sharp thing,
Was he?
right? Where he
Oh
said,
yeah, he was the
yeah,
one that was making fun of the Shannon Sharp thing. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, when Shannon Sharp was had that video of him having relations off
Yeah.
screen on his Facebook Live, and he was saying this
Yeah.
this ain't PG or something like that. This ain't
Yeah,
PG.
yeah. That yep. Um, yeah, I'm not totally sure about the other matches on the card. Honestly, I haven't been as into the product. Watching consistently the last couple of weeks. But you also have AEW's Double or Nothing this weekend. I think that's tomorrow night, along with NXT's Battleground, which they're going to be on at the same time. Um, The AEW card looks like it should be good. I mean, they always put on pretty decent pay-per-views. But their build has mostly been to their next big pay-per-view, All In, which is kind of like their WrestleMania, and they're kind of like looking past this one to that one a little too much, it feels like. And NXT should be a fun show too. I've been watching that more frequently, just now with it being available, on the streaming services. And that's of all of the products right now, it's the most like kind of family friendly, just because like Raw and SmackDown have definitely, since moving to like Netflix, have moved into the more we're gonna curse to accentuate our point, much like AEW has for quite a while, just to look like a more adult product. Um, so when the kiddos around, it's usually NXT that we're watching. It's also more digestible because NXT is
Hey,
2
look,
hours.
man. You can call kiddo on your own time, all right? Don't use those old freaking terms over here, man. Those old freaking like black and white, like leave it to Beaver fucking language shit over here, man.
um,
kiddo, come on. I was joking with you,
so
man.
yeah, that's kind of it for wrestling. Once all these happen, I'll talk more about them next time.
All right, so we get to what we've been watching. As far as shows, so Andor had finished. Actually, finished it when it was finished last week. But
Mhm.
talk about now. It was great. It was a good and very good ending. I
Yeah.
enjoyed the overall series, and yeah, it does make the Rogue One, like now you know more of the backstory of Andor, so it really shows like, oh yeah, you look at Rogue One a little different now.
Yeah.
Even though I always liked Rogue One, I always liked it. And I mean, I think people who probably didn't like it, I don't know. I mean, I haven't looked on all the forums, so it's not that I see people said who didn't like Rogue One and they like it. No, I just see like people who also already like Rogue One to say like, hey, yeah, this really brings more to it. Going in. Even though it's still some of those characters, like you only really shows more about Andor and well, you do see the robot, but the other guys you still don't really know their background. So maybe I don't know. I'm not saying they're gonna do no show with them. If anything, they'll do probably like a cartoon. You might see him in show up in or something. But no, but yes, I mean yes, Andor man, really well done Star Wars show. And as far as all the Star Wars entertainment uh post Disney, this is the best one. And even like I know some people said like they consider this to be like their top three as far as Star Wars, period. Like of anything
Oh
Star
wow.
Wars. And like I was thinking about
Is
that.
that
I
as
was
a
thinking like
whole or just season 2 or
as a whole.
oh, okay.
Yeah, because you gotta do it as a whole. You can't just do one episode or even just well
Well, I meant
if you're
like
gonna choose.
season 1 and season 2 or just season 2.
Well, like the guy said, he just said Andor, man. I mean, he didn't go Pacific.
Gotcha.
He just said he Andor was his top three. Like is in his top three of like Star Wars. I think he said either he said one. Either he said that there were one like Andor was one or two behind Empire Strikes Back or something like that. But and I was thinking about that. I mean, I agree with him because like honestly, like I told you, if I go honestly by like just Star Wars films, there was only two good ones for me personally.
Yeah.
There was only Star Wars: A New Hope, the first one,
Empire Strikes
um,
Back
and Empire Strikes Back. I mean, Empire Strikes Back
and Phantom
is the best
Menace.
one for me, and then and then Star Wars: A New Hope. There's all the other ones like they really weren't that good to me. Now by enjoyment, I can
I
just
was
say
gonna
this like
say
okay,
they're
I'll just
enjoyable though.
just enjoy. I will say, I will say it's like this for me. Empire Strikes Back, New Hope, the Return of Jedi, the what's whatever
Number 9
yeah number nine. Then I
or
I
7.
guess
7, I guess.
I guess
The
no, not
the
seven.
J.J.
No, no,
Abrams
no,
one that was just one again.
no. Oh, yeah, that was number
Right.
9. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was in. That's
Was it
yeah, that one. And
7?
I'm trying to think. The George Lucas third one. No, episode 3. It's probably after
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And then
Revenge of the
after
Sith.
that, you could just pretty much put episode 1, 7, and oh, no, episode. No, I'm sorry. I said 9, Daniel. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
7.
Episode 7 over 9. Yeah,
Yeah,
7 over 9.
absolutely.
Yeah. You could, and then after, like, yeah, then it'll be the Sith, Return of the Sith, or whatever it's called. Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith. So it'll be episode 4, well, no, episode 5 for, I forgot what the third one. Oh yeah, Return of Jedi. So that's 6. I'm gonna do titles again because the numbers are confusing.
6, 3,
so
7.
like,
Well, 7, 3.
yeah, 7, 3, and then
And then
it
who
doesn't
cares
matter.
about any of the rest of them?
Yeah, it
At
doesn't
that
matter.
point, there are 4
Yeah.
that aren't worth even categorizing.
That's because like with episode 1, episode 2, 7, well no 7, 8, and 9. Like,
Yeah.
I will say 2. I'll say 2 is the worst out of those. Just because of the love scenes. I'll say
I
that.
remember thinking the clone troopers were going to be crazy, and then it was like, oh, they just have like this Coliseum battle, and that's kind of about it.
And then they all
And that
computer
wasn't very
animated.
good. Yeah.
Like every last one of them. Like, it's one thing to have, like, okay, one's in the background or you're from a distance. Okay,
Yeah,
that's fine.
Absolutely.
But you could have the man, a regular dude in a freaking helmet. It's like, really? It has to look weird. So why you have to make it look weird? Them talking to him. It's like, come on, there's enough aliens for that. It's like, dude, you could have like a human. Yeah, but besides that, but Andor, like, if I was gonna put Andor into that, or if you're gonna include that, because then you have to include Rogue One, because technically Rogue One will be actually number 3 for me. Rogue One would be number 3 for me. I like it better than Return of the Jedi. Now the Han Solo movie, I have not actually watched it. Yes, I have. Now that I think about it, I did watch it all the way through. It's very forgettable. So I don't know where I'll put that. I think you could put that in the bottom bin too. And I can't think of another. There was no other Star Wars movie, right? There's only 2 side movies. Yeah.
The cartoon Clone Wars one.
Oh, well, that's at the bottom bin too. I seen that one. That wasn't good. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess you put. Was it 3D episode 1 better than the original episode 1? Was seeing in 3D made it better? I don't
No,
know.
absolutely not.
But yeah, man. Yeah, it's like, yeah. If I include like if I was going to include Andor into that, I would have to include the cartoons too. So that'll be too much. I can't do that right now. Like, I can't do that in my head right now. But they will be better than the bottom bin and something like that. Like, there will be, put like that. All that content, but not all of it, because I haven't seen all of it. Will probably be in between Return of the Jedi and those 3 movies. But yeah, man. Andor, really enjoy it. I'm just curious if they're ever going to do like another adult themed Star Wars, or just at least something of the quality. God darn, that's all I really want. Some decent quality show. Because yeah, they've been the last 2 Star Wars things have not been rated pretty good, rated good at all. Even though I haven't seen them, but I don't even bother seeing them if I heard how bad they were, and because I don't want to waste my time watching them. So yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Now this
you didn't watch anything?
definitively like ends the Andor thing, right? Like, this leads into Rogue One, I assume. There's no and/or 3.
Roughly, yes. It leads to him going to that planet. I know at the beginning of Rogue One. Now I don't know how much time is in between that and that, but it kind of it leads. Yeah, I think it actually does. If you technically like, it's probably like days.
Okay, gosh.
Which I think overall is like a year before the Battle of Yavin. Well, no. Well, you know what? I don't know because the beginning of the last 3 episodes, it said 1 year before Yavin, before the Battle of Yavin. It said BBY, which so maybe he's on that. Yeah, he might be up there for a while doing his stuff on that planet before we get to what we've been watching. Because it wasn't a year before Battle of Yavin. When we watch it, it was days before the Battle of Yavin because they just got the plans. And we were at that point. All right. So you didn't watch anything, did you?
No, I saw Wicked, but I don't know that I have any thoughts or opinions on that movie whatsoever.
Oh, you saw the Wicked movie. I was really thought you saw the play here for some reason. I forgot. I totally forgot about the movie that was out there.
The play would be more interesting because at least I'd be able to see the end then.
Oh, why can't you see the end?
Part 1.
This is part 1. This is a 2-parter. They
split it into 2 movies, Dominic.
Oh my God.
The audacity of these people, they split it into 2 movies.
Well, was the play like 4 hours?
I don't know. I mean, obviously there would be an intermission, I would guess, but like still, come on. You can make that thing into a movie.
Yeah, exactly. You just put that on a freaking Blu-ray collection or something. Darn, I did not know, Daniel. That was just
they didn't really make it obvious during the because I remember when it came to theaters, and they didn't really make it obvious during the promotion of it, but they tell you right away. Like I think when the title screen comes up in the movie, they're like Wicked Part 1. And I think if I was in the theater, I'd be like, "Excuse me, what? Like, what are we doing here?"
I was like, "Oh, I wanted the whole Wicked movie. Let me go get my money back." Say, "Hey, what's the one where you get the whole one?"
Well, I bought the discount ticket.
Yeah. Oh yes, yeah. I didn't know that. But you say you have no opinion of it?
No, I nothing was retained from watching that outside of Ariana Grande just like being very good at emulating the voice of the original woman that used to sing all those songs. Like it's very weird that she can just kind of do Christian Chenoweth voice. Like it sounds almost indistinguishable. If you gave me both soundtracks, I would be like, I'm not sure which one is which.
How was she?
It's not even really like much of a musical. Fine. I think the acting was fine. Jeff Goldblum is the Wizard of Oz. I like to see,
Okay.
He was doing his Jeff Goldblum thing.
Oh, hey, I like Jeff Goldblum's, but I don't like the rich.
Yeah.
All right. So the trailer for the new Superman. There was another trailer for it, and I saw that.
I haven't actually seen that yet. How was that?
It was good. I liked it. It starts off with Lois Lane interviewing him but like giving him hard questions. Like it was pretty good. It wasn't like a fluff piece like in the original Superman. Besides but no, it was good. But I want to see that movie.
Wait a second. Is she interviewing him as Superman?
Yeah.
And he's wearing normal clothes? That feels weird.
Oh,
he shouldn't be allowed to wear normal clothes.
I guess she, I mean, I'm assuming she knows who he is, but she knows who he is, but she's not going to tell the public that. But she just said, I'll do an interview as Superman.
Oh, yeah, Superman. That makes more sense, I guess. Yeah. guess it's
Yeah, well, so he got to change his clothes now, even though
exactly. You gotta be Superman. You can't just be wearing a
Well, it's
button
not a
down and some
video
slack.
interview.
I know.
It's
But still, you have to embody him when you're answering these questions.
a podcast. So it's not. I don't think it's a
Of course, it's a podcast. Everything's a podcast now, Dominic. This is a podcast. Oh, wait, this is.
All right. Yeah. I think that's it. I don't really see any new. I'm trying to think any other trailers I've seen. I
Who is
don't
the
think so.
woman with Lex Luthor here in the Fortress of Solitude, beating up robots and stuff?
I have no idea, but I didn't know there was Ultraman is in here. So, and plus he's in all black. So I'm thinking like, oh, Ultraman's like the reverse Superman. It's like the bad Superman from the Syndicate, like in a different dimension. Like if the heroes were bad guys.
Okay.
But he's not just like a reverse Superman. He's almost reversed in other ways too. And the reason why, because looking, I was like, why Ultraman look like this? I forgot that Ultraman, the sun actually weakens him. Like how Superman gets stronger from the sun, it weakens him. So like because I think he blocked the sun out on his Earth. And I remember reading like the New 52 when they came, he had like moved the moon. So I think it will always be night where he is or something like that.
Oh wow.
And so here, I guess they made it like he just covers his whole body.
That makes sense.
I was like, oh, I said, I mean, because that's why at first I was thinking like, why he's covering himself, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing. Now I don't know what the original Ultraman was like that. Like, was it like the sun did that to him? Like this was just like I just saw the new version of Ultraman. But anyway, yeah. So I'm just curious, like, what's the story behind that? Like, did this Ultraman come from another dimension, or is it just a new character? I don't know. Like, what's going on? But yeah, that was. Yeah, I mean, I'm really curious to see how this goes. Like, I hope it turns out to be good.
That's very soon, right?
Yeah, June, right?
July 11th, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Still pretty soon.
So, but yeah, let's see soon. So, what comes out in June then?
That's a good question.
Mission Impossible just came out, right? So, I don't know. Is there a cartoon?
I feel like I cannot trust these like immediate, like the Moana live action thing. Like that's not coming out in June. Get out of here.
Lilo and
Netflix
Stitch
is losing these things. Lilo and Stitch came out just this week, I think.
Yeah, saying like Mission, because it came out same time as Mission Impossible.
F1. How to Train Your Dragon. That's kind
of okay. Like another movie that's turned to real. Yeah. I find it funny because it's like people are really excited for this, but me, it's like, is this really needed? I feel like we need another 10 like another 10 or 20 years before we do this. Like,
I think Universal is just like we're trying to make our money.
It doesn't feel that long from the latest one. Like, I just feel like you need at least like 10, 15 years from the third one, not from the first one. Like to go ahead to go real. It's like, come on, like it wasn't that long ago. It wasn't even 20 years.
Yeah, surprisingly, it doesn't look like there's a lot of stuff coming out in June. You've got the Ballerina, that John Wick movie set in the John
Lilo
Wick
Stitch is actually over 20 years. I give it that.
Yeah.
Like How You Train Dragon is
heartbreaking, Dominic. Yeah, but Universal's got to try, Dominic. They got to do something. And they're just going to follow in the footsteps of Disney. Disney is working for Disney. It's going to work for them.
Well, try to work up that monster universe again.
They are through the theme park, Dominic.
I mean, they had the Wolfman come out, right? Was that even Universal, though?
I don't know. I don't remember
Wolfman
Wolfman.
2020. It came out this year. Damn, it was that soon. It's on Peacock. Oh, so it is Universal then, because it's on Peacock, right?
Yeah, it's on Peacock.
So they gotta do like the thing from the Blue Lagoon, whatever it is, that monster was called.
Creature from the Black Lagoon. Yeah,
Black Lagoon. I said Blue Lagoon because yeah.
we know where your head's at.
But yeah, the
Invisible Man, bring Kevin Bacon back.
so no, they gotta do don't do that one. Yeah, I did like that one. Got a little rapey though.
It got very rapey. Yeah.
All right. All right. So I guess I get to what we've been playing. So I guess I go ahead. I've been playing a lot of Unicorn Overlord. Going through that. I think I finally finished like I saved one huge section. Because technically I can't save the section I started in because that's where the main castle is. Though technically you can go right straight to it. You can go right straight to the end in this game. It's gonna be hard as shit, but you can go right. Yeah, go ahead and say I was gonna fight the boss. So now I'm in I was kind of splitting through these two sections I could go to between the elves and this is other kingdom that used to be our enemy, but now we kind of together because of the Zenorian army took over everything. So now I think I'm about to get to the end of the elf story, and then I'm gonna hit up north. But yeah, man, I finally got to a point where I can able to level up, not just level up. You always can level up, but to actually promote my characters to stronger versions of themselves. So yeah, I did that to quite a few characters. Yeah, man, this game is really deep. It's so deep, so many characters, and just think of different ways setting up. And yeah, I've been finding special ways to use them. And this is Coliseum, because I want to unlock this character, this giant ass freaking woman. I want to lock her, but man, I think she's like around level 40 where she is at the Coliseum. You just go through battles like these it's these battles of usually probably between 3 to 5 people you're fighting. So you pick any of your groups of people. You can able to switch them up too. I mean, put the best group because you can see who you about to battle. So you're like, okay, I gotta get something to really set up against these guys because hey, they got a bunch of flying guys or something like that. I'm gonna get some archers or they be mixed up. They might have something to counter that too. So you might have to have somebody to counter everything. So yeah, and they don't make it and when you're on the field, you can see if you what's the chances of you winning. And this you don't. You don't see the chance of you winning because it makes it better that way. You don't see the chance of winning. And I think maybe you can check because I was wondering, that's kind of easy on the field, because you see the chances you can win it. I guess you have to put it at a harder level, maybe on a harder level, because I don't got it on easy. I think I got it just on the normal level. Maybe on a harder level, they take that away because I was like, yeah, that makes it a little too easy. With that, because at one point I wasn't strong enough, so I was like, oh man, I knew I couldn't finish them off, but I knew that hey, they'll go there, they'll get beat up, but then I bring my other people to help or something like that. But yeah, back to the Coliseum. But yeah, I've been fighting people who are they're stronger than me because I'm just in the level. The highest level I have is 22. I'm going people against the 30s, but I'm also matching them up well against them. So sometimes I lose, but then I know I see how I lose, and then that's okay, maybe I'll switch out this character for another one, and then I go and fight them. So it's been fun, playing around with that. But I don't think I'm going to get her. I gotta get stronger because it's getting to a point where them being just a higher level is becoming a huge advantage for them because even though I know their weaknesses, I have their weaknesses. I have the people who can really hurt them. They're having more initiative. They're getting the first hits, so it's kind of bringing my guys' health down pretty fast. But yeah, man, this game has been great. I also been playing some Apollo Justice. I finally finished the first three games, like overall games now. So I finished the first one that was on the 3DS that came, and now I'm on the last one on 3DS. The Spirit something. I don't know, Spirit of Justice, I guess it's called. I forget.
That sounds
It's
right.
something like yeah. So I'm on the last overall game. I finished the first actual case. Like, excuse me, you're in a new land, like because you're seeing Maya again. Because she's been away from the previous game, and which I always hated that. Um, excuse me. And so the thing is, before that, she's still like doing some meditation somewhere. So before that, I met this kid, and then the kid he gets uh he gets framed for being a murderer. So I said, I'll defend you. And then people were like looking at me weird, saying, like, oh, you're a lawyer? I say, I didn't know. They say, we don't have lawyers here because they have this mediator who can see this they can see the spirit who died and they can see how they died. So they'd be like, why do we need a lawyer if we know who did it? But when I saw it, it was like, hey, you see like the kid in front of him, but you don't really see the action of the actual death. So I was like, I'll do it. But then it's a law in that country like, hey, we stopped doing lawyers because lawyers used to always um they also defend the wicked or something like that, and they'll even lie to get people off. So we didn't like that. And also that now we've made it so that if you become a lawyer, you'll get what your client gets. So if your client's going to get the death penalty, you get the death penalty. So that's why
That
that's
is
why
insane.
that's why there's no lawyers in that land. So of course Phoenix Wright, I mean the guy he is, he's like, well, I'll do it. He said, I'll defend the kid. And yeah, so I just went through that. And I don't even remember what I did from last time, so like everything is kind of just new because this that game was not as memorable as I thought because it wasn't as good as the other games and
Yeah.
like both 3ds both the 3ds games were okay, they weren't great. Yeah, they were all right. I mean, they added some stuff, but it definitely wasn't as deep because I remember in old Phoenix Wright games, like every area you go in, you can do like click on things and he'll say something about something, like say, hey, do a search. Like just to see might read some funny stuff, just like it's like a point and click game. But this one, they kind of I mean, including the last one, well, the both 3DS games, they gotta take that out. Like if it ain't nothing worth it, see there, they're not you're not gonna be able to just search around. Like they basically kind of streamlined it, and it's like that's I don't like that. Um, but yeah, I've been playing that, so I'm gonna play that Miles Edgeworth game. And also I've been playing some Fire Emblem Warriors on my Switch. I've been playing a lot of that. I think I'm probably close to the end because I'm kind of getting to the point where as far as leveling up, like all of my characters, I can level up to their max, like to their their promote them, I should say, to their max form. Um, Also, I tried out Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning because they had the Kingdoms of Amalur was a game that came out in the 2000s, early 2000s or mid 2000s, I should say.
Yeah.
360 era, PS3 era. And then they did a basically a remastered version of that came out just some few years back. Um, and this is I know the big thing we always heard about was like it was done. Kurt Schilling started the company. He was a big World of Warcraft fan and like stuff.
Mhm.
So and this game even has that kind of art style World of Warcraft
Yeah.
with it. But it was a whole lot trouble in making the game. And then when it came out, sales weren't great. And then it was all like lawsuits with the state and stuff like that. It was
Yeah,
a
because they
mess.
got a bunch of money from the state, and they were also because they were in what Massachusetts, like in Boston, and
Yeah,
then
I don't.
they
Yes,
were
was it
also
mentioned? I
working
know
on
they're in
a
New England. They're New England area.
yeah.
For some reason, I
I
kept
thought
thinking
for
Rhode
some
Island.
reason it was Boston. That's actually probably right. I think because Boston, Massachusetts didn't sound right, but I think just because baseball stuff, I was thinking Boston.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I think it was Rhode Island, and yeah, they took a whole bunch of like grant money from the government, and then they had to cancel the MMO because they were doing like this, but they were also making an MMO in the same world because they had like this famous writer and comic book artist, attached to this as well. It was going to be like this whole grand spectacle, and then kind of came out with this like somewhat mediocre
yeah. So I guess
action
Kingdoms of
RPG.
Amalur was going to be like the big title for all of them, and
Yeah,
this was the first of it, like the Reckoning, like. So. But it became the only thing,
yeah,
unfortunately. But the game actually it was okay. I mean, it got like I think like sevens and stuff like that. I think it was like
yeah. It was
probably
middle of the
around
road,
there.
I think.
Yeah, I think
It was an old.
maybe somebody probably gave it an 8, but yeah, I didn't think. Yeah, I don't remember being told it was horrible. I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, it wasn't like an awful game or nothing. But yeah, I've been playing. You know what? I started playing that, so I'm kind of still in the beginning of that. It's been okay. Like for old RPG, like for old meaning well RPG of that time. Yeah, it has that. Yeah, it does that art style. It has that World of Warcraft art style, which
Mm.
it's all right to me. Like cartoonish,
Yeah,
fantasy, and it's voice acted. It's not great as far as the voice acting. It's like it kind of feel older. Like even though it came out in the 2000, it kind of feel like a game. It should have came out like if it would have came out in the early 2000s. I would say like
yeah.
yeah, this is really good.
It's a
Like
great
is
PS2 game.
yeah, exactly. That's why I get the feeling of like the early 2000s RPGs on PC or I mean I guess if you want to say PS2, but like yeah, but because it's more like a PC game, but it feels like something of that era more so than when it came out. Um, which is kind of like how World of Warcraft was, because World of Warcraft is kind of we got to think how long it took to make that game before it came
Yeah,
out, and that's what it was. Is but thing is like we're kind of past that now,
yeah.
so it's like you have to evolve more because like I would compare this more to Fable, I guess, because it's like a third. This is the third person RPG, not a first person like Oblivion and them, and Fable did a better job
Mm.
as far as that. It felt more evolved than this. This is more comparable to probably the first Fable if I was going to do that. Uh, so yeah, that would be the only thing. It's like it's dated, but I mean overall it's all right game. It's all right game, but it does feel a little dated as far as things of that nature. Also, I is that it? Is that all? Well, oh yeah, I guess we could talk about it. Doom: The Dark Ages. I'm just gonna tell you my experience for you and yours because the only way I can play this game is through the cloud because this is one of those games that requires ray tracing. The ray
Oh,
tracing
really? Okay.
video cards. So even if I had the video card that I had before it fucking messed up, I couldn't even play the game anyway
Right.
because I was like, oh man, really? This requires. I said that sucks. Um, so yeah, so I had to play it through the crowd, and at first it was unplayable. Like it was
Mm.
lagging, it was too pixelated, and I was like, man, this is real bad. Then I saw some people who had this third party thing where it said like it's a boost, like it kind of helps with the cloud games without you having to pay for anything. Because there
Uh-huh.
is something else that you have to pay for. That's still in beta though. I think I looked that up last year. Um,
Huh.
and they said sometimes some people say that has helped with theirs. Sometimes with theirs. So I tried it out, and it seemed like it did. It seemed like helped out, but I don't know if it's so much of that. Like at first, it didn't. First, it was like, oh, I don't really see much of a difference here. I'm still having some problems, but I don't know if that's maybe I had to start over again and try it again because then later on I tried again, then it was looking a whole lot better. I was like, oh, this is actually running really good, but I was like, now I don't know if it's because traffic is low or what. Like, what's the reason? Because I
Mm.
didn't try it last night on Friday, which is like or today, I if I have time, but I don't know if I want to play today. But like when on the peak hours, like a lot of people probably playing the game. I wonder how it'll run because yeah, like it looked really like yeah, it was looked really bad. But that time it looked really good. I mean not I'm gonna say really good compared to what it was. It was really
Mhm.
good, and it
Gotcha.
wasn't like delay on my controller, because like it
Mhm.
was getting to the point where my man was still moving around and stuff. Because even though I already hit
Yeah.
it, that's all man.
That's
But
kind of
then
crazy because it always seems like they prioritize that over image quality always, you know?
yeah, it was just both. It was just both not doing
Yeah.
well at that time. And yeah, I just have to say, like, I just wish this, like, look, man, you're upping your prices on this stuff. Can you please make it better?
Yeah.
I mean, and Nvidia, I mean, can you please do something similar to Nvidia? Like, even close. I mean, we're still paying for it. I mean, you can say like, oh, but we're offering all the other stuff. But I was like, yo, but I'm sorry, I'm still playing for the ultimate though. I mean, you have it there. Don't because if it's just there and not playable, what's the difference? Like
Yeah.
it's
Like
just me.
also you could switch to like PC Game Pass at this point since you're not playing anything on the Xbox really. I'm not playing anything on the Xbox really. So
Yeah,
we
and
are
it's like,
paying for
oh
Ultimate. So we
yeah,
are paying for the
for
streaming. So it should be improving that.
yeah, it's not like a thing like oh, in streaming it's just free. No, it's look, we're paying for it. Like it has to be working now. It's one thing to say like, okay, I can tell like, oh, it doesn't look as good as an Nvidia one, but it still
Yeah.
plays. Like I still
Yeah.
play it. It's still playable, and it's not horrible. But it's not all pixelating stuff, and you can say all this stuff like, oh, it's up to your connection. Say, come on, man. Okay, but then I I can see if I play do Nvidia and and it still looks bad, then I'll be like, oh, it's definitely my connection. But I play
Right.
Nvidia games. I didn't never have a problem.
Yeah.
GeoForce now. I keep saying just Nvidia, but GeoForce now. Um, so it's not it can't be me. It's gotta be you. So you gotta make it better, man. Because like yeah, more people are using this thing. Like it was good before, but it wasn't as many people, and now a lot of people are using it. It's like you gotta up your game, man. Especially if you're gonna raise the prices. All right,
Mhm.
but yes, but Doom. So what I played of actual Doom, like in good quality, it was fun. I really like it. I like the able to just kind of zoom in, like zoom to the enemies, like the
Yeah. Like
and
Dash
like
almost.
that. Yeah, exactly. And I like throwing the shield and that nature. I like the of course executions and stuff like that. I mean, Doom was always a fun, great game, and it just made it better. Adding this other layer with the shield and these
Yeah.
other abilities. That I'm still like I'm only on the second stage, so it's still a lot of things I haven't seen. But yeah, like I was like, man, this game is awesome. This game is fucking awesome. I really am enjoying it, and I like how and I always like how that like I always feel like, oh no, I'm going to die, but then I just do execution, then I get some health. So okay, I'll survive. But then I get hit again. So oh no, I'm going to die again, and then I got it's
There
like
are a lot of times
always
where I'm finding myself like low health warning, and I'm like,
yes,
"Oh God, I got to do the thing that I'm supposed to be doing," and it's like, "But
yeah.
haven't I been doing that thing?" There's everything's
It's just
going so
it don't
fast.
take much to get your health down. Even
Yeah,
in normal it doesn't it hurt. Well, I guess they call it hurt you plenty. It doesn't it doesn't take much, and I think and you know what I think that's okay because of the way you kill these guys and how quickly it happens. I think that's the whole
yeah,
idea is to keep moving. You keep moving to enemies. You keep going fast. It's not like a tactical shooter. Like okay, let me go hide behind something and shoot. No, no,
yeah,
no. It's not. It's
and
not.
that's why they
You
give you
don't have
those
anything to
kind of
hide.
fodder
There isn't
enemies.
anything to
Yeah,
hide usually, really.
yeah, very
It's,
rarely.
so yeah, it's yeah. So like it's very fun in that way, and um yeah, it's like the only downside. I mean, it's not really a downside. It's just that, like, yeah, because your screen goes red when you're kind of dying. I kind of probably want to. You probably can because it's the options. I know there's a lot of
There's a
options
lot of
just
options. Yeah,
to do stuff, and I wonder, it's like, hey, can I just turn the red screen thing off? I know it's like a warning, but I'm always seem to be in red screen. so, so
you're like,
I
there's
just,
an
I just,
option for that lower difficulty. Come on.
yeah, yeah, but I don't want to do that. because I'm still getting through. It's not like
Yeah.
I'm starting over a lot. So yeah, man, it's a fun game. So like, tell me your experience with it.
Yeah, I'm having fun with it too. I think the addition of the shield is a positive. It's not taking away from anything, and it does something to improve the speed of the combat, because I do feel a little bit more lumbering and slow, just kind of moving around the environment. But the kind of homing dash and moves of that nature definitely make you a little more agile in getting
Oh, what do you
around.
think about the pairing system and stuff? 'Cause I didn't forgot to mention that.
The pair, what's that? The
No, no,
pairing?
no, the pairing, the pairing. You know, with the shield when you block
Oh,
when you,
parrying. Sorry.
yeah.
I like that. I think that's pretty fun. The kind of using that to reflect back the green energy back at the enemies. I find myself kind of going out of my way to do that, and sometimes that's why I find myself in
I
the
think, you
like
know
low
what?
health state.
I think that's what it is with me too, because I forget to shoot my gun sometimes. Because
Yeah.
because I am constantly doing the dash and then
Mm,
like trying to block and then just hitting the melee button.
yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, I could be shooting my gun when I'm from a distance. So I'm doing that.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, maybe I should shoot my gun. But always, for some reason, I feel bad when I kill somebody with my gun. It's like, oh man, I wanted to punch him. Let's
Yeah.
punch him or something
Want to
like
punch
that.
him and get some health from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my only thing that I don't like is like having the melee be limited to, having only 3 at a time. It's not
Oh
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
you do a weak melee attack if you don't have the power up or whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
that sucked because I was bashing and I was like, oh man, I'm not. Well, so why I'm not hitting him? Yeah,
Because
but
honestly, I don't know if it's like my old man brain or something like that, but like there's just so much going on at a time. This is almost like levels of what's the mad mullet mad jack, where it's just like I'm not even like registering what I'm doing. Sometimes I'm forgetting that I can press these buttons because I'm forgetting to that I have this ability or that ability. And honestly, I've been playing this on mouse and keyboard, and I think this might actually be a first person shooter that is more designed with the controller in mind. Cause like even something as simple as like my use key being all the way over at G, it feels like a stretch sometimes.
need
And then
longer
like
fingers, Daniel.
yeah, I need
Grow
longer
your
fingers.
fingernails out.
Um, and of course they let you change weapons with the scroll wheel and the number keys, but the way they show you in the game is they want you to hold down Q and bring up the radial menu, and I'm like, why would why wouldn't
Oh,
you? Yeah, that's
that's
not
weird.
good with a mouse and keyboard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, everything's kind of really fast paced. I think in chapter 4 or 5. The next chapter appears to be the one where I get on the dragon. I've done the mech thing. I think that was like chapter 3. That was okay. You're just kind of lumbering around and doing these like more slower paced hand to hand combat situations. I wonder if you do more of those later in the game, if you get power ups where you're a little more faster or have different kinds of abilities. I'm interested to see how the dragon riding stuff works. I think generally this is a good game, but also seeing like I'm on chapter 5 of 22 or something like that, it was kind of like, I don't know if I'm committed that much to this game just because there's so much stuff right now that I want to play and keep playing and try, and I don't think that's really slowing down at all. I'd like to go back to Blueprints, but I've kind of been discouraged with that because it's a game that kind of really doesn't feel like it respects my time because there's always the RNG aspect of it, and I think we talked about it the last time we recorded, where it's like I just feel like I'm getting more and more mysteries to solve I'm getting more mysteries than answers, and I'm starting to run out of patience for getting the answers. It's like, okay, I'm kind of past just the main goal of getting to that room. There's a lot of things that I want to try and figure out. And in some cases, I know how to figure them out, but I just am not getting the rooms that I need, or I'm getting the rooms that I want, but I'm not entirely sure how to utilize them. So that with so many other games available, I've been less and less likely to go back to it. Because like even starting Clair Obscure, I'm like, do I want to go back to that instead of Blueprints, and just uncover more mysteries that I'm never gonna be able to solve? Um, yeah, so I just don't know where I'm at with all that stuff. But Doom at least like has my attention right now, and since I do want to see that dragon stuff, it's gonna pull me back in at least until then. Um, Generally, like, I don't know that Doom is doing anything super interesting outside of what Doom 2016 did. I mean, it very much feels like, okay, I'm gonna get into this big area, I'm gonna kill a whole bunch of enemies, and then I'm gonna, move on to another section. I almost would like a more like linear hallway shooter from, or at least section. I shouldn't say I want it to be that, but I would like more sections of like, okay, like more linear stuff instead of here's this big room, we're going to spawn in a whole bunch of guys, you're going to kill them, and then you're going to move on through these kind of linear hallways. I would like more like while I'm going down those hallways encountering enemies and stuff like that. But I feel like that's not really what this series is right now. I feel like that would be the enemies are more like on you, and it would be more imposing as opposed to these open areas where it's like, well, I'm the Doomslayer. I'm just here to kill all of these guys, and it's inevitable that I'm going to. They're all just kind of here for my fodder. So I'm
Just play Doom 3 then.
yeah, no, it's funny because I was saying that and I was thinking about Doom 3 as I was saying that, and it's like, is that what I I just don't know that they can make another Doom like this. I'm interested to see what they do after Doom the Dark Ages, if unless this ends on a cliffhanger and they're like Doom the Dark Ages 2, we're just doing that again.
No, Doom the Light Ages.
Yes, exactly. Space Doom. We're back down. We're back into futuristic Space Doom. The aesthetic of this is kind of interesting because it's very much like almost like the Thor in Marvel kind of thing, where it's like these guys are very old Norse creatures, but then they've got space technology and holograms and whatnot.
Yeah, I was confused because I thought we was in the Knights of the Round thing. Honestly,
we are, but we're in future Knights of the Round,
oh.
where they got mechs and also dragons. Yeah, so that's really been about it as far as what I've been playing.
All right, so I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the flashback segment.
All right,
and we're back. So now we're flashbacking to 2015. Let's see what games we got coming out. That came out this week in 2015, or at least a couple weeks actually. Actually, yeah, I'm going through the end of the month, so I'm just going to finish it off. And a huge one. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt came out 10 years ago, man, and this is still one of like people consider like one of the best RPGs, well, Western RPGs out there. I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 is like people probably arguing between these two games right here as the best RPGs. I mean, some people got Baldur's Gate 3 up there. I mean, I have to reassess myself, reassess to see what like because Baldur's Gate 3 it has a lot. It has a lot to it. But think about it, but it's almost like that's like 8 years later, basically,
yeah.
or actually like by the time that came out. Like Witcher 3, man, it's been it hasn't been a lot to really dethrone it. Not even their own Cyberpunk seem to have done that. But I mean, it's better now. Cyberpunk is definitely better now as everything's been done, and especially with that expansion they had. But it's man, Witcher 3. I love that game. When I got my hands on it, man, I really love that game. Like that game was definitely fun, man. I mean, it was so immersive. Like I spent I don't know how many hours in that game, man, but I played it. I played it through. I don't know, like if I took a break, I don't remember because I played the all like because I played it when everything was out. So I played that and the expansions. And the expansions, they are long. They're like games themselves, man. And especially the last one they had. Oh my god, that was freaking Blood and Wine. Like man, that was big. That was huge. And I mean, like, oh man, it was beautiful too. Just seeing those vistas, those big wine vineyards, like man, just like the graphics and everything, man, like it was awesome. I mean only downside is the downside with that game, I think, is the action. Like the actually action RPG when you're fighting, it's not great. I mean it's good enough for me, but it's not like I'm that's not memorable for me. Like that's not when I talk about this game, I'm not really talking about that. I'm not talking about the battle system with the game or anything like that. So it's like it's okay. Like it's good for that. It's really the story. The story and just um interacting with the environment is what I love about this game. Like I love just traveling to different places. I mean the amount of stuff they put in that game is it's insane. It's insane. And yeah, man. I can't wait to see what they do with this Witcher 4. Like what's in store with this game. One that's going to be what $100 game maybe. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it.
Nah, it's the Europeans. We trust them, Dominic. It'll be $29.
Okay. Well, probably by the time it comes out, $100 game is probably a good deal.
Yeah, exactly.
all
Nintendo's
right,
pumping
so
$300 games by that.
the all right, so what else came out 10 years ago? Whoa, it's a lot of games that came out, but apparently not a lot of games worth talking about. All right, here we
Nah.
go. Splatoon came out 10 years ago. We just talked about it. It was on the cover of Edge, but yes, and I didn't really go into detail on that, so I'm kind of glad I didn't because now I can really talk about it. So Splatoon was the Nintendo multiplayer game, and like the first, actually, I don't. It might be the first Nintendo published shooter, right? Multiplayer. What?
Yeah, maybe multiplayer shooter, I guess, because there were a couple like. Oh, I mean, Tech was GoldenEye technically published by Nintendo, but like
I don't know.
developed by, right? And
Yeah.
it's,
Well, you
it's
know
been a
what?
long time if we're
I guess you could
counting
say.
GoldenEye.
Well, you know what? Metroid, but was that online? Was Metroid online?
Oh, you know what? Yes, I think that had like the Game Spy hooks in there for the game for the DS.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know
All
about
right.
the
So,
system
so I
ones.
guess yeah. So I guess well,
It's the
this is the
first
first.
successful one, Dominic.
Yeah, and it's mainly multiplayer. I mean, they have
Yeah.
their story mode is actually a side. It's a side thing in this game. Um, and it was fun. I mean, it's a shooter. It's not in a way like you put out this colorful ink paint around, man, and you kind of swim in it because you're like a squid. You can change forms into like a regular squid, then a squid kid or whatever. They're shooting at everybody. It was fun as hell, and the whole idea wasn't just to kill the enemy. It was really just to paint the board, the color. That was just that was cool. Like it's like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, you just gotta have your own color paint by the timer, like covering the stage, and whoever has the most covered it wins. And really, you're killing the enemy just to prevent them from, painting. Really, if you get near them. But yeah,
Yeah.
man, that game was fun. I had a fun time with it. I really liked it, man. It's cool. Yeah, it was definitely like a good time. I love the graphics. I love how colorful it was and everything. And like The like I said, the story mode was a little, it was kind of sad. It was all right. I had fun with it. I never did complete it.
Mhm.
The first one. I never think I completed the second one either. Oh, excuse me. All right. But yeah,
I always
yeah, that was
forget
like
that
one of
this is
those.
a Wii U game, because it's one of the few successful things that came specifically out of the Wii U.
Yeah, exactly. I got it. It came with my Wii U. It was Wii U. It was a Splatoon, and it was the Super Smash Brothers
Mhm.
Wii U that came with the bundle that I got. And yeah, man, Splatoon was really the game. And yeah, like you said, it was one of those successful Wii U games. Like Wii U had some games, it just didn't have people to play them.
Yeah.
So I mean, I mean, not. I wouldn't say that because it was never a time in Splatoon where I couldn't find a game. It's just that they didn't have a lot of people, to play it. But they all came to the Switch, though. I mean, well, Splatoon,
Mhm.
the original didn't come to Switch, of course, because they had Splatoon 2, so they didn't have to. But yeah, they all just came to the Switch, those games, so everybody got to play them. But Splatoon, yeah, man, that was one of those Nintendo surprises, original games that turned to be really popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it for 2015. Unless I miss anything. Nope. Uh, I guess Rogue. Oh yeah, we always say Rogue Legacy. It just came on Xbox.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Darn. That
A
is
lot of
it.
stuff
All
that
right.
it looks kind of big, but is probably its second or third release. I mean, you can mention Puzzles and Dragons Z plus Super Mario Brothers Edition because it was like, oh,
The
hey,
Captain
this
Mario.
thing that, yeah, they're putting Mario's branding on this puzzle game. And it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's really not that big a deal.
All right, so now we're going back 20 years to 2005, and we got WarioWare Twisted came out for the Game Boy Advance. So tell me about this game, Dave.
Yeah, WarioWare Twisted used a modified Game Boy Advance cartridge, one of the big boys with a gyroscope in it. So it was a lot of motion stuff. And it added to the series from, just mini games to now you're waving your Game Boy around basically. And this is at a point where we had the SP, so you could actually see the screen as you were moving things around, as opposed to if you were playing this game on the original Game Boy, it would be a very rough situation.
Okay. So this game got rated pretty well.
Yeah, yeah. Metacritic score is 88. EGM gave it a 9. Eurogamer gave it a 9. Famitsu gave it a 36 out of 40.
That's
IGN gave
not
it a
good, Daniel. It needs to be in the
9.5.
90s. If it's not in the 90s, Daniel on
Well,
Metacritic
you
is
see
like.
what happened. They didn't pay them off is what happened with that one. Nintendo Power, though, oddly enough, one of the lower scores with an 8.5 and Game Informer with a 7.75. So
Oh, they brought it
those
down.
kind of
They
outliers.
brought it
Yeah.
down.
They really did because everything else was really high. Everything else
Yeah,
is in
who
the
was the guy who
nines
reviewed
or
that
five
game?
stars. So.
All right. So last game to mention for 20 years ago, and actually it's the last game of a flashback. I had nothing really for 30. Um, Advent Rising came out. Advent
Yeah.
Rising was this big game published by Xbox. And it was advertised a shitload. Like this is gonna be like a new
Mhm.
franchise, this like action adventure game that was gonna be multiple games. It had a famous writer for it. Orson Scott Card, yes.
Oh,
Was
that
a
guy.
writer. And he said, oh that yeah,
Well,
I know
he's the
there's
one.
controversy.
Yeah.
What? I know there's
Well, I
controversy
was gonna
behind it.
say,
I
isn't
don't
he the
remember what it
one?
was.
He's the
I
one
don't
that
remember.
that they based the Shadow Complex story on, right?
I think so. Yeah, I just know it from Ender's Game.
Okay. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, Ender's Game. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's not the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
guy.
And I mean, he
Yeah.
wrote Ender's Game, but
Yeah.
I'm sure his name's been attached to other things too. Like that's what he's famous for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I didn't know who Orson Scott Card was then when Avid Rising. I didn't know it till
Mhm.
Ender's Game. Because I heard people talk about Ender's Game, and I was like, oh, let me listen to this. And then that's when I ended up doing a movie, which didn't come out to like probably 10 years after I had read that book.
Yeah.
Um, So yes, Avid Rising. Yeah, it was planned to be a trilogy. Like it was all this stuff, but sales wasn't great for it. Like this, they probably spent a whole lot on advertisement for this game. Probably just as much as the budget, maybe. Who knows? Um, it said like it was planned to be a trilogy, which also saw the development of a game that would take place alongside Advent Rising called Advent Shadow for the PSP. Despite a large advertising campaign, including promotion and cinemas, the game's retail performance fell short of expectations. By the end of 2005, Majesco had completely revised his business plan to focus towards handheld games and cancel plans for future Advent Rising games. I'm sorry, it wasn't published by Microsoft, but it was exclusive to the Xbox.
Yeah,
And
they must have gave him money because I feel like I remember that game being very heavily advertised by
yeah,
Microsoft at the time.
yeah, it had Windows, Xbox on Live. I guess they had Did they have multiplayer or something? I didn't know it had multiplayer.
Yeah, I didn't
Um,
remember it being having multiple.
yeah. It said, let me see. I want to go through the story. I want to see the development. Let's see what happened here. The game's overall story was created by Donald and Jeremy Smustard. The dialogue and screenplay was written by Orson Scott Card and Cameron Dayton. Card's influence are noticeable in the terminology, which has been carried over from Ender's Game. The terms vids, buggers, and ansible are all references from his critically acclaimed novels. Um, and in 2008, Novent announced they are adding Novent Valken support to this game and will sell it as Ascension Reborn for the Novent Valken only. I don't know what that means. I guess
Novin Falcon? That was
is
that
that like a
controller.
yeah, the world's first consumer 3D touch device.
Yeah. It's like this weird, like it has a ball on the end and then it has like three arms so you can like move it around forward and backward and
Is that a
side to
gun?
side in space. They had a gun attachment too, yeah. It's a very I remember being like super interested in the thing when they first announced it. It looked like, whoa, this is like cool.
Oh, here's the reception following its Xbox. I guess it's Wikipedia. Following its Xbox release, the game received average reviews according to the review aggregation. Yeah, right here, 70 on PC and 68 on Xbox. The most common complaints were the large number of bugs, which caused a range of problems, including freezing. Another common complaint regarded the difficulty in using the targeting system. The game visual design choice was noted by several reviewers pointing out that the character were apparent well the characters all appear fairly elongated. Although it has been said that this was a deliberate stylistic choice. Scott Jones of Maxim gave the game 4 stars out of 5, saying the game's unique flick targeting system, flick the right control stick towards the enemy and you're automatically locked on, takes some getting used to, but actually frees up triggers and face buttons, meaning you've got plenty of options when it's time to dole out ass bootings. Oh, fucking Maxim. Yeah, you can't review games. Jim Schaefer of Detroit Free Press gave it 3 stars out of 4, saying, my biggest overall complaint is that the game's camera can be jumping jittery, leaving you discombobulated. It distracts you from the very good storyline and well done video cutscenes. This guy's quoting from a lot of just like places you don't really look for game reviews. Charles Harold of the New York Times, however, gave it an average review, saying
You
that
don't get your game reviews from the New York Times, Dominic, please. Game journalist dies in the darkness.
Its most interesting aspect is flick targeting, in which you snap your right control stick at an enemy to lock your weapons on it. Upon the release of the PC version of the game a few months after the Xbox counterpart, the game was slightly better received, garnering above average reviews according to Metacritic. Many reviewers felt that the months long delay had been put to good use, as many of the glitches in the Xbox versions had been fixed. Frame rate was also improved, and with slowdowns becoming rarer. Also, a free copy of the PC version was included on the DVD release of the 2007 Uwe Boll film Seed.
Oh.
Oh, those lucky people who got Seed got this game, Daniel. $1 million was offered in a contest via Xbox Live for the first player to find a set of hidden symbols spread throughout the levels of the game. On August 15, 2005, the contest was canceled due to concerns that there was no technically feasible solution that would allow the contest to continue in a fair, secure manner. Majesco
Okay.
offered as compensation to those players the choice of 2 free games: Blood Rain 2, Guilty Gear X2 Reload, Psychonauts, what's it, Raises Hell, and or Phantom Dust. Oh, I mean, I'll take Psychonauts, and it'll be
another
between
copy of
Blood Rain 2 and
Psychonauts.
Guilty Gear X2, maybe. I don't know how good was Raises Hell.
Yeah.
And an apology on its homepage. Oh, got an apology. Xbox Live was terminated for original Xbox games in 2010. What was I don't know. Avid Rising is now supported on Insignia, a rival service. The original Xbox restoring online functionality. What did you do? What was the multiplayer in this? Because I still see that. Oh, they had some comics. Maybe the comics finished the story. Yeah, Avid Shadow. Did you ever play Avid Shadow, Daniel? Oh no, I think it got canceled, right? I mean, it was originally planned for PlayStation Portable handheld as a side story to Avid Rising, ended up canceled. Yeah, okay. Well, it's telling me what the story was. Yeah, man, it was something that would never be. It was they were this is supposed to be like a huge thing that happened, man. I remember seeing all the advertising for this and stuff. I was kind of excited for it. I mean, I borrowed it. I was like, let me borrow this game to see how it really is. And yeah, I mean, I don't remember. I know I didn't really care for it when I was playing it. I think I wasn't used to that flicker, that target system. I think that's what it was. I think I was like, man, this feels too weird. It's almost like maybe a Too Human kind of thing going on there with that. I don't know. But yeah, it kind of sucked because I had high hopes. I was jealous. I was jealous, like, oh, my Xbox get to get this big franchise. I think it was a cover. I don't know if it was a cover thing for Game Informer or it was one of the big sections though. It probably wasn't on the cover, but it was like one of those big sections where they did interviews and stuff with the developer and stuff talking about the game. And yeah, I was like, man, I really want this game. All right. So that's it, man, for the flashback segment. So we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. So let's get to the gaming news. What we got, Dan?
All right. First off, Dominic, I've got a follow-up to a story from the last podcast we recorded. It actually happened before when we would have happened, I think, around the same time that we recorded last week. But Giant Bomb did, in fact, go independent. Some of the guys there purchased the Giant Bomb from fandom after the kind of debacle that we were talking about last time, where they had a podcast pulled and apparently there was some issue that fandom had with the content they were making, and apparently they were able to leave and purchase the Giant Bomb IP and related properties, old videos, and all that stuff with them. And they were able to actually announce that at the PAX panel that they had scheduled ahead of time. That was one of the speculations, I think, or no, actually, when we recorded last week, it had already happened because it happened the week that we did record. But it's pretty much the best possible outcome. I mean, these guys are now, doing sort of a Patreon-esque thing. They're still using the website as a premium subscription type thing, but most of the content is free as of right now still. So they're kind of doing Patreon without the Patreon middleman. And it's going to be Jeff Bakalar, Jeff Grubb, Dan Reichert, Janet Shoa, and Mike Minotti. Mike Minotti's a guy who was brought in by Jeff Grubb, has been doing kind of side projects with him for a while, and has also been doing like not freelance, kind of paid appearances almost on the Giant Bomb stuff for a while now. So he was kind of an unofficial member, and he's now been brought in as one of the co-owners of the company. I think that's really cool. It's good to see this happening because I talked about it last time and I talked about it with you. Like Giant Bomb has been such a big part of my life, even though that original crew is still no longer there. You know, in this iteration, the oldest member of the staff is Dan Reichert, who came in much later, but it still has a lot of that same energy. And now the great thing is we saw them reaching out to other members of the community already. Dan Reichert was on Jeff Gersman's podcast after this was announced, and there is a very
I think
funny
he was on
moment.
MidMax too.
Yes, he did a interview with what's his name from MinMax, kind of the main
I
guy
forgot
there.
his name, but the lead guy.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Because
they're very good
they work
friends. They
together.
actually live
They work
live
together. Yeah.
yeah. And they both live in Minnesota now. But there's a very funny moment where Jeff Gersman, the founder of Giant Bomb, introduces the owner of Giant Bomb, Dan Reichert. But it's good to see that like that relationship is still there, because for the longest time, Jeff has been kind of out in his own. Occasionally he'll bring in somebody that was at least tangentially related to Giant Bomb or had been there occasionally, but doesn't really bring up the Next Lander guys who had left previous to him leaving. Doesn't really talk about the current state of Giant Bomb. So to actually have him now back in kind of the fold and talking about doing an anime podcast with Dan Reichert again. They'd formerly done Dragon Ball Z podcast. That was quite amusing. It's nice to see that that's kind of all coming back together. And the current Giant Bomb guys have worked with the Next Lander guys kind of off and on for quite a while now, with Jeff Bakalar and Dan Reichert being regulars on their like Patreon extra shows.
What's that show
So
called
yeah,
again?
which one?
The one with the former Giant Bomb guys, not Gershman's show.
Next Lander.
Next Lander. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, this is probably the best possible outcome for this. I hope that those guys are successful. It may be hard with a 5-person team to go basically off of the kindness of strangers in a way. But we've seen Kind of Funny succeed. We've seen MinMax succeed with larger teams, and I know Ben Hansen is his name. We've seen.
Yeah.
My understanding of that is like Ben Hansen is MinMax, and then like everybody else is
Chris Hansen's like nephew,
little brother.
Yeah.
You know, you say that, but he does. He gives me Chris Hansen kind of vibes sometimes. So yeah, it really is nice to see that this is the way that this went. Hopefully, those guys can continue to be successful with this content for years to come.
Cool.
Kind of as an opposite side of things, Jade Raymond has found another non-success in PlayStation's Haven studio that she founded to work on Fair Games, which was another, kind of online, probably a lot of pay to win shooter situation.
Paid to
kind of
win?
the MO of,
I gotta be paid to win.
it doesn't have to be pay to win necessarily, but they're trying to take
microtransactions.
Yeah,
Microtransactions.
microtransactions.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't
this
know.
is
Maybe somebody with the best outfit always wins, Daniel. Maybe that's what it is. I don't
you know,
know.
some of the best outfits have the smallest hitboxes, Dominic. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, this is a game that we saw, and I don't know about you, Dominic, but if I had to pick it out of a lineup of a lot of these other kind of like street level, but graffiti, street style,
Yeah.
first person shooters, I don't know if I could.
What's the
Um,
name of it? I want to see it.
Fair Games with a dollar
Oh
sign
yeah.
at the end.
Okay. That's right. And let me see.
Um,
Let me look at it because I totally forgot. I mean, I remember the title.
yeah, and
Yeah, I would not have. Yeah,
uh,
you could have told me
I
this was
I don't.
Concord. I would believe you.
Without if you didn't show me the characters, yeah, probably I would. The same environments and stuff. But I think this goes to Sony's. We're gonna do this whole games as a service situation a little too hard, and pushing everybody in that direction under their banner to go that way. It seems like Jade Raymond's had some pretty bad luck of the go basically since she left Ubisoft. It feels like
Let's say this could be one of those Ubisoft like games stuff. It's just
100%, yeah. As it turns out, Dominic, all of them made one of these games at this point. Unfortunately for Sony, they made at least 2 of these games, including Concord. There are rumors out there that there were recently playtests of this game, and maybe her leaving has something to do with the reception of those, whether it be by her choice or by Sony's choice. But it's kind of crazy that Jade Raymond is one of the few major names that we know in the games industry, along with like an Amy Hennig and a Cliffy B and stuff like that. But with Jade Raymond and Amy Hennig, it's always like, oh, they weren't able to finish a project. They're moving on to this thing. This didn't work out for them.
But you know what? With Amy Hennig, like this is nothing against Jane Raymond. It's just that Amy Hennig, she's a writer. I know what she does.
She's a creative.
I don't executive producers that it's such a big. It's a lot can go with that. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, it's a broad thing.
What she does. I'm not saying she doesn't work or nothing. Don't get me started. No, I ain't definitely saying that because obviously she does something. She's getting hired places, but I just don't know what it is she does. I just don't know what it is. Like I can't point to it.
Yeah, like, especially when I first saw her, you talk like the Hollywood side of things, right? Because an executive producer could just be somebody that gives somebody money to make something.
Money, yeah, but I think she's more than that.
But that's not. Yeah. I think she's more of a manager, keeping the project on schedule and moving it along. Yeah. So I wonder where she turns up after this. She was at Google Stadia before this, which I mean, that just seemed like it was destined to fail regardless of her involvement there. So it's not to say that she's, she's causing any of this. It's really unfortunate. And even with this, there's a lot of fingers to point at Sony and just go like, you wanted another live service game. Like, what did you expect from anyone here? She just needs to go to Nintendo, Dominic. She can fall under the wing of Miyamoto and make the next great Mario game. That's all. That's what we need.
Do Nintendo have any big exec women?
Not that I can name. That's for sure. That is, I don't know that.
I don't know. I mean, it's just that
outside of like the PR side of thing, I don't know that I could even think of a woman associated with Nintendo, Dominic.
Oh yeah, with anything, right? I mean, yeah. Only thing I've ever seen women is like you said, PR.
Yeah. And that's on the American side of things. That's not even...
Yeah, that's more. Yeah, that's a treehouse.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. All right, Dominic. Speaking of Amy Hennig, maybe that's why I was thinking of her. Her Marvel project, 1943, Rise of Hydra. That's the Captain America and Black Panther game. Apparently, that was set to come out this year at some point. I don't know if I realized that or remembered that, but that has been delayed till early 2026 for
Uh-huh.
additional polishing, allegedly. Um, I feel bad for them because they now had the opportunity to release that game before Grand Theft Auto came out, and now they could find themselves smack dab in the middle of Grand Theft Auto. So it's not a not a enviable position for anyone to be in.
No, it's
But
not.
what do you think of that game, Dominic? I mean, obviously we haven't seen gameplay necessarily, but is there any level of excitement there for you?
Not really excitement, but I'm curiosity of it though.
Yeah.
I was curious. What is it exactly?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you make it, an Uncharted style single player story focused game
Who's
with
publishing
solid
this game?
gameplay, Skydance Media, I think, or Skydance Games.
Okay.
They're the ones that I think have
I see him in
picked it up.
movies, right?
Yeah, yeah, you've seen them in movies. I forget which of the people is attached to that. Is that the Mission Impossible
I was
guys?
just about to say. I want to say it's
Tom
a Mission
Cruise.
Impossible.
Yeah.
'Cause I remember seeing the name Skydance in the music starting.
Because I
Like,
always confuse it with that and J.J. Abrams thing, that's Bad
oh,
Robot, right?
Bad Robot. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that's the Mission Impossible stuff then. Um, yeah, but I think they're the ones
Who's
that
the guy who
also
sit boo
have.
boo sit? Good dog. Who do that?
Oh, what is his name?
That
That's
was Spin
only
City, right?
yes, yeah.
I want to say that's what I seen in the Spin City. Yeah, UBU Productions.
Okay,
Well, what? Let's see. What do they do?
Spin City,
Yeah,
Brooklyn Bridge, or Champs. I know there's a newer one that.
yeah. I think that's the one. Yeah. Oh, they did Family Ties and something like that. But yeah, Spin City is the one I remember them from.
Yeah, I felt like there was something newer that did, but I guess not. Ubu Production.
How about Gracie Films? So who does that? It's like I only see that on Simpsons. I don't see that anywhere.
Yeah, you'd think they'd be able to expand with 60 years of The Simpsons under their belt.
Actually,
All
were
right.
they with what's it called? The critic? What's the critic? Had Gracie Fields at the end of theirs?
It must have, right?
Like, yeah, but that's like the
Yeah.
only things
Yeah,
the
The Critic was
Simpsons.
produced by
Okay.
Gracie Films, the same company
Okay.
behind The Simpsons. Critic. How is how is The Critic not made a resurgence, Dominic? We're about to get a King of the Hill reboot. I feel
Is he
like The
still
Critic
alive?
is. Yeah, I
Is
think
John Lovitz still alive? Oh,
yeah, I think John
I was
Lovett's
joking. I
still
know
alive.
he's alive.
I don't know if he's been canceled or not.
Chuck says John Lovitz. I mean, he probably has been on The Simpsons. There's been a million episodes, but I'm curious if he has though.
Yeah.
Like, has he shown up in The Simpsons as one of those old characters he was?
John Lovett. He's only 67.
Yeah, he's the same age as my parents.
John Lovett. It stinks.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Dominic. Microsoft continues its movement towards the PlayStation 5 as the dominant console in our generation. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 is coming with an enhanced edition this summer. In the enhanced edition, there's actual daylight, so you can see what's going on in the game.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
No, that's not true.
Oh,
I don't know what's enhanced about it.
Well, it's going to have to go up with the pro version.
now.
it's gonna be like that's the best version to play that game, like Forza and stuff like that.
Yep. Which is, Forza, the best version of that game, is still the PC version, right? Like,
I mean, well, yeah. I'm talking about console wise.
yeah,
That's
consoles
all I'll
don't
say.
matter anymore, Dominic.
Yeah,
We're in a post console world, Dominic. We've given up
and
on
it doesn't
consoles on
matter.
this podcast.
Like I said, I don't have that TV, man. Like I don't live in that world where
I
like
don't
I can
either,
even.
but I still know that it's better on my PC, even if my PC is not even the most powerful. That's what PC Master Race is about, Dominic. Just having the confidence in the ability. You know what? That's what I forgot to mention during the talk about Doom. It's crazy to me that this is a game that requires you to have an RTX card when one of the things about Doom 2016 that was incredible was like it ran pretty well on lower end hardware.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because of that
That's why.
Vulcan
That's why
whatever.
I was going to try it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, let me try to see if this worked. And they said, oh, it's RTX. You need RTX. I said, oh man, that sucks.
And it's not like I don't think I'm running this with like RTX lighting on or anything. Just that doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I
You just don't want to optimize it. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, like the people said,
Forced obsolescence.
Like these guys tell me, they said, yeah, you just got to get a new card, man.
Yeah.
Stop bitching. Stop complaining.
I've been looking at graphics cards a lot more lately just to like see if there was anything available for you in like a mid-range, right? But like I'm looking at these things and people are like, oh, don't buy a 5060. It's the same as a XT 6600 or whatever. And then you look at the XT 6600 and it's a card from like 2012 or something like that. And I'm like, we haven't made that big a jump here. It's only about like how much memory you have on the card.
It really is. And RTX.
Yeah.
And ray tracing
only
stuff.
Like high-end cards have the like 16 plus gigs of memory because everybody's mad with cards that have 8 now. And I'm like, okay, I wish things were better. Like I want PC gaming to be something that's more accessible to people, and all it is just not. Because like you can't even get a card for the MSRP when the MSRP seems reasonable. I don't get it. Like
it's like it's something where a lot of these products you can't get MSRP.
Like even the Intel cards.
Yeah, I don't think it's like it's rare to see that for a PC. If I see it, like, oh, that's actually the original price. That's not a thing.
I just don't understand how we let stores get away with that. I mean, I guess it's manufacturer's suggested retail price, right? But like, I shouldn't buy something if I walk into a Micro Center and I see that they're essentially giving me scalpers prices for it, right?
No,
like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, well, whatever they'll pay. That would be like if I walked into Walmart and they're like, well, bread today is $10 because people want to buy bread. It's like,
yeah.
I hate this. I hate the world that we're living in financially. It makes no sense. I spent way more at Aldi yesterday than I have ever spent at Aldi, and I don't necessarily think it's because I bought
it's funny.
more.
You're the second person I heard say that.
It's just the reality of it. Like, I remember when I started shopping there, I was shocked that I was spending less than $100 for 2 weeks worth of food. Like, it was surprising to me because I was used to going to like Wise or Safeway or whatever. And like, I'll be the first one to admit, like, I'm not like, I'm only going to buy what's on sale. I'm like, I'm just going to buy the food that I typically buy. This is what I basically eat. And if there's like a difference between brands and it's on sale, like I'll probably get the one on sale. I mean, now I'm shopping at Aldi where like brands don't matter to me. If I don't like the Aldi brand of something, I just don't buy that thing anymore. But yeah, it went from like spending less than $100, and then like more recently, it's been like, okay, less than $200, and now like I'm getting close to breaching that, and I'm like, whoa, I'm basically buying the same stuff every week. I'm not
Yeah, yeah. The
comparing.
prices is just going
I'm
up.
not
Yeah.
comparing receipts, although I did see somebody post on the Reddit because there's an oldie Reddit which I don't like frequent, but it was presented to me because it knows me. Um, and somebody posted a receipt from a couple of years ago versus one from nowadays, and yeah, the prices were significantly increased. In a way that the rest of our financial institutions have not increased them, or our jobs, I should say.
Yeah, and I'm tired of these people just using that mantra. Like they're still doing it. Like it's a guy who I follow, and because I didn't get his post, he said I see people were still arguing about the $80. I'm just going to post this, and he posted like the AI, the Google AI thing, explaining about inflation or something like that.
Yeah.
And thing is, I didn't get what the guy was trying to post. I was like, are you posting? Because based on what they're saying, it is they're right. They get right about inflation, but also it also said something along the lines of like I forgot the term they use, but it's a way that like also has something to do with like other factors too.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking that he skipped over that part because I looked at previous
I
posts
should have clipped this part
and
out of the.
yeah, I looked at previous posts. Well, see, if you don't know what that means, you would just you read it, but you won't think about it. And
Right.
like, 'cause I forgot what it was saying because I was looking it up too. Because I was like, what does that mean? Then I looked it up. I say, oh, it's meaning what I always thought, like that because of certain times with inflation. Even though, like, yeah, you could say, oh, this will cost this amount in 1980 something, but you don't take into account about everything else around 1980. You're just taking
Right.
account of this one product and putting it in 1980 when you're not taking into account of everything that like the prices of everything in 1980. Because you have to. It has to be the factor. Also, not only cost of living, but it's a lot of other factors go with that.
Yeah.
And like, because yeah, I looked at this previous post and then I see like, oh, he's just saying games should cost more because it's just what it is now. And it's like, dude, you can't. Because I was reading somewhere on Reddit, like this economist guy explaining how he explained specifically. It was kind of long, but like somebody says, I mean, thank you for saying this to explain to me why things don't make sense to just take one thing from an era, put it saying that like, oh, it should cost like, oh, we were paying actually $600 for Nintendo when in
Right.
actuality, no, we weren't.
Yeah.
We weren't. It's like yes, equivalent to the money of now. Yes, it is, but really, is not what you think. It's not like we were spending $600 because,
Yeah.
like I said,
Because you're
I can
not
tell you this: my
factoring in a
parents were
lot
not
of other
fucking
things.
yeah. Like my parents were not fucking. We would never had a Nintendo then. Nobody would
Yeah.
know having a Nintendo if they really cost that much. Um, like it's like yeah, because you're not taking the effect like the price of other products too. Because like sometimes say like you gotta look at the food too. How much food costs like then, and like how much it was worth, and like then you have things like gases, which just goes up and down. That just
Yeah.
changes. You know, it's a fluctuation with that. And I mean, and like you said, like in pay, thing is, things have gone up significantly. Like the increase is a lot more than what it used to be. So that's not a fair assessment of that. Like the cost of people getting paid is not have gone up like the same. Like in the same way that like the cost of things going up, people's pay has not gone up in the same type of increase. That's the yeah, because like the minimum wage stuff, like it's stood probably the same for a while, and then it goes up some, and then it stays. Is yeah, it's not yeah, and people. I'm just surprised at how many people that don't. I mean, I'm not surprised people that don't know it, but just that how many because I see online that still say the same thing. Like I'll be thinking like, okay, if you're a kid, I get it. You don't because you don't know enough to not know. But when you're a fucking adult, you gotta look at all the. It's not simple. You can't just put something and just say like, "Oh, this would have cost this and this time," so it makes sense that it would cost. We're actually paying a cheaper price. We're actually paying cheaper than
Yeah.
what we probably should. It's like, no, that's not how that works, man. The market is not. That's not how the market works in that way.
And how much is the percentage of the cost of this game versus what we make nowadays? Like that's the
Yeah,
housing thing, right? Is like if you just go based on inflation, like housing prices aren't that much different, but if you like account for how much percentage of your income the cost of a house or the down payment on a house is versus back in the day, it's significantly different.
yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, you're not taking, you like, yeah, you got to take in cost of everything. And just like the guy said, also you got to take in cost like things you buy now that you didn't buy then, or that you
Yep.
did buy then, or something like that. Like you say, like, hey, you might like back then, everybody still had a vacuum cleaner or something like that. Example, like everybody had a vacuum cleaner back then. Here now, but back then, like your vacuum might be last longer because of
Yeah.
how it was made or something like that.
Right.
Now everything's plastic. It's just like
Yep.
really, and it is different. I mean, it's like it's so many factors in
Plastic
how
with a
things work.
non-replaceable lithium-ion battery that you're gonna have to throw in 2 years because it doesn't hold a charge anymore, and you can't vacuum the
Yeah,
floor for more than 10 minutes. All right, Dominic. Since you brought it up, game prices, I'm just gonna switch to this one real quick. Randy Pitchford has kind of stepped into it because he somebody
I think
on
it's like he just. It's almost like he just wants to do this. Like it's just that's his thing. It's like, you know what, man, I haven't done anything controversial. I've been probably
yeah,
pretty good. Let me just do something. Let
I'm
me
not in the
just
spotlight right now. I would like to be in the spotlight.
Hey, put
Um
a fly in the ointment over here.
So basically, somebody suggested on Twitter that he not make Borderlands 4 cost $80. And he said basically, A, I don't get to make that decision. And B, if
And
you're
that's
a
all
true
that's all he should
fan,
have stopped at. He should stop right there.
that's, yeah, pretty much.
So I don't have a
But then
decision on
he
that, man.
added B, which was if you were a true fan, you would find a way to play it. And then he tells a little story about how he bought a game for $80 back in
And he
1991 or whatever.
working at an ice cream shop or something. What was this
Yeah,
something?
he's
What
working in
was
an ice cream shop. Made me think of you, Dominic. I was like, oh man, Dominic was buying $80 games back when he was working at the Baskin Robbins.
Yeah, I was buying. Yeah, I saved up to get Madden, man.
Yep.
At the GameStop.
Yeah.
Yo, yeah, dude. Oh my goodness. Like, what the hell?
If
It's
you're a
like,
real
what are you
fan,
doing?
Dominic, you'll give us your money.
I know if you're a real, yeah, this the real fan part too. It's like real fan. Oh, you like that? Oh, you're like. I always hated that about sports when people say like they talk about like Billy Crystal. I always see this because they say, oh, Billy Crystal like the biggest Yankees fan and something like that. Like, man, he's rich. He can go to all the fucking games.
Yeah.
And like he gets the best seats. Now there are people who do go to games and they're probably just not in the best seats or something like that. Or people just, oh, it's too expensive.
Yeah.
It's fucking New York.
But
And
they watch on TV every time.
yeah, it's like you say Billy, you mean the biggest fan that's famous that everybody maybe knows?
Right.
Like yeah, I guess. I was like, come on, man. You don't call these freaking people or like what's his name? What's the actor for the Joker? The guy who played the Joker, the first Joker movie.
Oh, Jack Nicholson with the Lakers.
Dan
Yeah.
Nicholson, like for the Lakers games. So it's like, yo, dude, he can always get courtside seats, man. Hell, they probably pay
He
him to be
probably
there.
doesn't even
Shit.
pay for them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what to say. They probably pay him just to sit on the sidelines or something like that. I don't know. It's like, dude, it's
We'll
like
find you a
that's
new girlfriend if you come to our game.
it's like you're the biggest fans because it's like, oh, I go to every game. I said, dude, you know how people I know would go to every game if they could? It's
Yeah.
like
The
that shit
time,
LA,
the
yeah.
money. Yeah. Like, must be nice. Yeah. It's a bad take from a guy that has a lot of bad takes, usually. He needs to settle down. Um, because at the end of the day, yeah, I don't know if Borderlands 4 necessarily is going to be $80, especially at this point. Maybe you roll that back, they're owned by what, Take Two now. So Take
Just
Two
keep
will
it at the
make its
70.
money.
keep it at 70.
Exactly. Just keep it at 70. It's simple as that. Um, I I definitely think it'll be $70 at least.
Oh yeah.
But this is the parent company of Grand Theft Auto. You can kind of sit back on this one, and especially after this like controversy, play a little good faith and get only $70 from this game, and then just bankroll everything through Grand Theft Auto. But we'll see. I mean, they might roll the dice and try and get that $80 out of it. I'll be
Yeah, I
interested
just
to
wonder
see if
how
it
much of the
does.
fear of missing out, the FOMO of like the public is. I mean, because of course I see comments, people saying they just wait for a sale,
Yeah.
but what's the actual, like the people who, like when the game sells, like if it is $80, they're gonna be like, I'll just wait
Yeah.
on it, like, or they just spend it. And like, because I think the guy filed, they say like, oh, Borderlands, like only a few games can do $80, and Borderlands is one of them. And I mean, I have no idea. Maybe they can. I honestly don't know. I don't know because after three, well, I don't know how well did Tiny Tina sell, but it wasn't a number, so it's kind of hard to judge by that too. But if it did, I mean, I'm guessing it didn't sell better than three because I felt like I would have heard that, right?
Yeah.
Um, but after three though, people were kind of down on Borderlands because three was kind of a disappointment compared to what was two. So I honestly don't know what's the feeling out there of Borderlands, like how popular it is right now. Definitely the movie didn't help.
I was gonna say after the movie, probably maybe not so much.
So I wonder if Borderlands is $80 game. Maybe it is, but I honestly don't like. I'm honestly don't know. I have no idea the feeling behind Borderlands, like the popularity of it. I mean, I'm excited to play the game eventually. Definitely not $80. Definitely not even play at 70 though. Honestly, like I'm a
Yeah.
guy. I was gonna wait. I was a wait until they just get everything on that game because I'm playing through three now because I didn't get on the DLC. So playing that, like I can play through that and I'm fine. But yeah, it's yeah. But Randy Pitchford, yeah, he pretty much puts foot in his mouth, like it's really bad. Like it's not even. See, it's one thing if it was like an interview or something he said that in, but he tweeted this, right? So it was something
Yeah,
he
I tweeted.
did himself. It wasn't like he was put on the spot.
Yeah.
It was a spot where he had time to answer. Like a guy at tweeted, like
Yeah,
had to
that's I didn't think
answer
about that. Yeah.
right away.
He could have went to
So
the
it's like,
bathroom, sat on the toilet, and waited a little bit.
yeah.
Thought about what he was gonna poop out into the world.
So it's one of those things. Is like, man, yeah, he's just whatever, man.
So with that said, he was a part of a Q&A recently where he did have a little bit more of a
Who was
nuanced and
doing the
better
interview? He looked
answer.
familiar.
What's that?
The person doing the interview.
Let's see.
It looked like someone I
I've
knew.
seen him somewhere. Maybe he's
Is that
part of like
Reiner?
the
It
Borderlands
wasn't
team.
Reiner.
You know what? He's part of that team now, isn't?
I know he left, but I know he left to somewhere, but I forgot where.
That's not the Andrew Reiner I want. Yeah, he's the global creative executive officer at Gearbox. So yeah, that's got to be him.
Oh, so that was him.
Yeah.
I don't like him
No
either.
wonder he served up this softball to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Where he did have a much better answer. Randy Pitchford said it's an interesting time.
Yeah,
He
it
said,
was.
on
It
one
was.
level, we've got a competitive marketplace where people want to, or the people that make those
Something
choices want
that
to.
should have been said initially.
Yeah, sell as many games as possible, and they want to be careful about people that are price sensitive.
Or
so
don't
there's
say
some
anything at
folks
all, and then you could have had this and said that and said it.
exactly that don't want to see prices go up, even the ones deciding what the prices are. There are other folks accepting the reality that game budgets are increasing, and there are tariffs for the retail packaging, and there's and it's getting gnarly out there, you
Now
guys.
the game budget
Borderlands,
thing,
yeah,
like game budgets are increasing, yeah. Because you said like this is double the game budget
yeah,
from
yeah.
3,
Borderlands 4
and I
has
just
more than twice the budget that Borderlands 3
yeah,
has.
and I want to know how much is it because of people getting paid more, or is just that y'all put more into it?
So that's the thing,
Because
right? Is there's absolutely going to be some level of people are getting paid more. You know, we live in a different time, so obviously wages should have increased at the very least, whether they did or not. But the other aspect of that is a choice that they are making as
yeah,
to how big they're going to make this game. And maybe they're like, well, it's a Borderlands 4. It has to be bigger than Borderlands 3. But that's where you fall into the trap of like infinite profits, right? Like where these companies are like, well, I have to make more money than I did last year. Well, no, a sequel doesn't necessarily have to be bigger. It just has to be better. uh, and better could mean different things. It could be a more interesting story. It could be a different art style. It could be a different gameplay style. It doesn't necessarily just have to be this game looks better and I need the latest tech and needs to be the biggest thing that I have ever created.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like we see some very in recent times some very huge games or like and very good games that just don't have that they don't have that huge budget, and
Yeah.
they were able to make a great game.
Player
And
Obscure, a game that people are talking about as like one of the greatest games ever or
yeah,
their favorite
and
games ever.
you yeah, so you choosing to do that, but it's like it's almost like did it have to be? Does it really like I don't know. Yeah, like you said, that yeah, the budget. I don't know. Should the budget better to the cost of the game? I don't know. It's like you said, that's your choice if you feel like that. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's this one. Yeah, it's kind of one of tough things, but I just feel like you don't. Maybe you don't have to do the budget. Like that's your choice to put that much money into it.
Yeah, exactly. If I'm an indie developer, I'm not going to try and aim for a game. I'm going to start out by making a $20 game, right? I'm not going to put so much into the game that I have to sell it at $80 in order to make a profit on it. And in the same way, I feel like that should be thought of by these AAA publishers. And, I'm almost afraid to say this, but to their credit, right? Like Take-Two knows that Grand Theft Auto will sell no matter what price they price it at. So they can go as far out as they want to with every aspect of that game being triple, quadruple, sextuple A quality in the writing and the visuals and the animations and everything, because they know at the end of the day they can sell the amount of copies that they want in at the price that they need to make a profit on it. And I think some of these like in between developers who maybe have publishers whose eyes are maybe a little bigger than their stomachs are being either done a disservice or they're doing a disservice to themselves.
Yep.
All
Man,
right.
they are really trying to force this game for the Orioles. Man, it's raining. Like they're trying to force it to get
Where are they
done
playing?
in Boston.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean they already had. Like, I get it, man. It's tough, but everybody should have a dome.
Hey, if you build a new stadium, it should kind of be mandatory to
Oh
be a
yeah, this is
dome,
new. Yeah, the
right?
Red Sox is old
Yeah.
stadium, so it's
Nah, yeah, I get
yeah.
that. But like there are
You should put
still
a clear shield bubble of the top there. That's what
we have the technology. We could do that if we wanted to.
yeah.
Um But yeah, it seems kind of crazy in this day and age that we don't do that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, is part of that like, oh, some places though they get snow here, so that wouldn't be a good idea. But if that's
Well,
the case,
shucks,
it's like
Minnesota,
once
they
you
did.
open it up.
Minnesota was in a dome. Then they
Okay,
built that
so
new
then
stadium. It's
there.
not a dome. It is not a dome.
That is crazy.
The baseball, the baseball place, yeah, and the
That is
football, of
crazy.
course, it is.
I mean, I guess the idea, I guess the idea there is, well, I was gonna say
It's
the
mostly in the
snow
summer.
thing.
It's mostly in the
Yeah, they're
summer,
mostly
but
playing in the
sometimes
summer.
you'll get snow occasionally in the March and
Yeah.
April up there because I've seen it like in the Cubs. I mean, I've seen Chicago get it. I've seen
Yeah.
the Brewers. See, they have a dome though. They so it won't be snow ever inside. They'll just close it. I mean, I think it
I mean,
opens and closes.
I guess it's just a cost thing, right? Like I'm sure someone's crunching the numbers. Like, is it worth adding, this many hundreds of millions more for this
I mean, yeah,
dome that
I think
will
so. I think it's a
maybe
cost
not
thing,
necessarily
but
use?
yeah, but I think it's a cost thing. But I don't know. I just feel like those places. I don't know. Yeah, it's just
Whatever they replace Camden Yards with should be a dome. That's all I'm saying. Whenever they build it in Kentucky or wherever they're going to move to once they leave us. All right, Dominic.
Build a weather machine.
I mean, the Democrats already control the weather, Dominic. Just get them on our side for baseball. All right. All right. So, next story I got here, Bungie confirms that Marathon uses some stolen artwork. There was somebody on Twitter that pointed out that they placed a watermark in their artwork, basically. And it is very evident that it is also included in Marathon.
So I'm just saying, how does that work in doing that? Did he just hit a home run? Fuck. Orioles is up 2-1. Now it's 2-2. This is only the first inning because they take a long time to start.
Yeah.
So it's basically 0-0. So now it is 0-0 again. Shit.
Okay.
It was like, hey, y'all only got that because it was raining. So now we're gonna tie it up. Make it fair.
All right, let's just end the game now. Then let's end it.
I wanted to end the game. Yeah, well, I was wanting to get it 2-1, but it's only the first inning. You can't do that. Like, just end it.
All right, let's rush this to inning 5 and end this thing. All right. So what is it? What don't you get about the art thing with Bungie?
Yeah, like them. Okay, so they're using the art of this person in the game. Why did you keep the watermark? Why I don't know how this works. Like, don't you just erase?
Because I think the person that stole it was both not smart and lazy, probably. I guess.
Yeah, because someone said, yeah, because I saw that. I was like, what? It's like a copy and paste thing. And then it's like, wait a minute. I don't know how game design specifically works, but I feel like you would have changed a little bit of it.
You would at least, yeah. I mean, yeah, it just, I don't know. Let's see if we can push this off of the individual onto the company. Like, are these people so pressured to get all this artwork done for this game that they've resorted to having to find something online? Is that what's going on? Is there something deeper than just somebody being stupid and lazy? Is it this company's also doing this?
Yeah.
And I say that because this isn't the first instance of this at Bungie. And this is something like we hear occasionally from other studios. But this has been like several times now. There was a Nerf gun that somebody basically just lifted, when they produced the real product. They had just stolen someone's commission work down to the brush strokes. And there were a couple of other ones where there was like a Destiny trailer that used some artwork from somebody, and there was another one. When we're getting into the like fours and fives, it feels like unless you guys still have that one person on staff and everybody just knows that Jerry's the guy that's stealing all the artwork, but he has to stick around or something because occasionally he comes up with some genius idea. I don't, like it feels almost like there's something systemic about it at Bungie more than anywhere else. Bungie definitely doesn't feel like the Bungie that we credit with, creating Halo at this point. Their
No.
prominence in the game industry feels like it's definitely gone down significantly, and that's not just Microsoft let him go and now Sony owns him, so I'm a whiny fanboy. It really feels like they just are not that prestigious anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to hear about those other cases, yeah, like it that just tells me like, yeah, that's a problem, man. And um I don't know, the way people were talking is like almost like they have to go to the drawing board, really, or I guess you pay them. Is it more than one? You hear that one person, but I just start hearing other things like
I
some other
thought I
stuff.
had heard some more about like specifically Marathon, including some other things, but when I was looking
Yeah,
at the articles this morning, I did not see
yeah.
instances
So
of
so
that
I don't
just
know. So
yet.
I don't know, but because yeah, well, yeah. Now you gotta make sure because even if you pay this person, it could be someone else coming. So hey, this is Mons, and no, that's Mons, and yeah, you. So what is it like? Just going to the drawing board or just like pay them? I don't know, man. I mean, like one guy says, like during this game was looked like a game almost did on arrival anyway. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know. It could be a game that surprises people and be like, oh, this is the next big thing. Um, but like for me, I mean, because I'm not into the multiplayer scene, it doesn't really matter to me. I still want the game to perform and be a good game, but now with this, it's like I don't know. Unless they fix this or something like that, I question this stuff, man. It's like it's weird. But yeah, like you said, the
I'll
Bungie is
admit
not the
though,
same no more.
like,
The name doesn't have that meaning anymore. That's a
yeah,
name. Like when I think of Bungie, I think of Halo, really,
yeah.
and just that this of that time. And maybe early Destiny when I thought it was gonna be good for me, and it
And
wasn't.
from the
Yeah.
trailers, yeah, I mean, I'll fully admit, like, I can't imagine trying to police a team of what I would imagine is dozens or hundreds of artists to make sure that there's not one or two or five people in that group that is, not creating wholly original stuff. Um, even down to like, what do you do as far as like people who design custom brushes for Photoshop? Is that something that needs to be like considered or counted as part of like contributing to something? If I'm like, oh yeah, I really like the way this cross hatching is in Dominic's brush that he made in Photoshop, and now everything that I paint is gonna have like this look to it. I really don't know what the policy is
Yeah, like
in
what's what's
regards to
what's
that.
um what's actually being ripped off and what's like just it being inspired.
Cause like even I've seen on Reddit like as of late, because I don't really read comic books that often, but like there's one artist who just takes like images of like porn stars and paints over them for their covers and stuff.
Uh
So it's
huh.
like, is that like stealing, or are you reinterpreting that enough for it to be wholly your own piece of artwork versus like applying a filter to it or something like that to like, oh, cartoonize. And obviously we're going to get even it's going to get even more complicated with the introduction of AI into any of this stuff, right? What
Yeah.
is because that is just wholly always repurposed, and now if you're only training the AI model on stuff that you're feeding into it personally from, your catalog of stuff, I guess that's fine. But it just, I do not envy them. So I will say that much. But the fact that Bungie has found themselves in this position one too many times makes me think
That's not a
where
strike.
there's
What the
smoke,
fuck?
there's fire. Uh-oh.
Goodness
It's not looking
gracious.
so good. Time to clear the bench,
Oh,
Dominic.
but he called that a ball. Okay, man. What the fuck? I don't even know what the hell.
How have
Oh
we
my.
not just switched to the cameras, Dominic? Like, they've got the cameras in place now. They just need to switch to the. That's where the AI needs to be. It needs to be calling balls and strikes. That's all I'm saying. All right. And then the last news story I got here, Dominic. I got this email personally. Sony is ending the PlayStation Star loyalty program. This started in late 2022. As of November 2nd, 2026, but as of July 23rd, 2025, you will stop the ability to earn points and rewards through the program. This is a program that never really gave me anything tangible or good anyway, so I don't really care, but at the same time, this very much feels like, oh, we've won this war. We don't have to give you peasants anything. The same with like, did we talk about how Nintendo is ending their loyalty thing, their
uh,
silver
uh,
coin thing? I don't
I
remember
don't
if we
think we
did or
did.
not.
I don't think we did.
Because that's something that actually, on the grand scheme of things, it was like pennies and dollars. But I appreciated that. I buy a game, I get a couple of cents off of my next game, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So there was some value there, whereas like this Sony thing always felt like the poor man's NFT, where it's like, here I gave you this digital statue from God of War Reckoning or something like that because you played 5 minutes of the story. It's like
Yeah, you can
this
show it to your
isn't.
family.
Yeah, I open my app and I show them my trophy shelf. Yeah, so like this, in the grand scheme of things, this isn't really much to me. But that Nintendo one was pretty disappointing, honestly.
Yeah, that's
So
that's pretty bad, Nintendo. Yeah, because especially like, man, come on, man, y'all don't go cut down prices on
exactly.
your games, man. You gotta give me something.
Yeah.
You can't give me my like 2 cents off, man. Fuck you.
Yeah. It really is just like more of this like anti-consumer stuff that is just
Yeah, I
happening
mean,
more
come
and
on.
more.
Bringing prices up of technology that doesn't change is so weird to me.
So you know what, like
What?
talking about that, Dominic, like and talking about like how games back in the day were this and were that and whatnot. But something that we always bring up now, especially in regards to Nintendo, game prices never drop, right? So like you might tell me, okay, back during the N64, I was spending, $200 on a game
Yeah,
adjusted for inflation. But I could also find those games on sale at some point.
yeah,
I
they
also
dropped
had the
eventually.
ability to rent games back then, which I just really don't anymore.
Nope.
Like I guess GameFly still exists, right?
Yeah, GameFly
But
exists because my friend still
but
uses it.
that's about it. I can't go down to the Blockbuster or the Hollywood Video anymore and spend
Right.
five
I
dollars
think
and
it's
keep the
like
game
in
for a
those
week.
small town areas, you know. I think they have their
Oh, do
seem
they
like
still have a mom and pop video game shop that
yeah, I feel like they
has the
have them.
beaded curtain to the back?
Yep. Yeah, yeah.
That's how you know the
Yeah.
real pros are out
I
there.
didn't, you know what? I never knew there was porn back. Always kept thinking it was like almost before like I thought it was grown up movies, but grown up movies like documentaries and stuff that's boring.
Burn civil wars back there. You don't want that. Don't worry about that.
I think my dad, he said like, "Oh, that's his adult stuff." So, oh, must be that boring stuff.
It's where they keep the newspapers. business section. Yeah. So and even, N64 I think is probably the worst example because we didn't have like a player's choice during that. But like if you move into like the GameCube and Xbox and PlayStation 2 era, where you did have like all of the major publishers have some sort of
some version, yep.
discount. And obviously that came later down the line, but like it happened. Whereas like if I bought a Switch, even 3, 4, 5 years into its lifespan, if I just want to get my kids a couple of cheap games to hold them over until the thing that they really want, I can't buy 1-2 Switch because it's still $60.
No, you better just go get those. You better go get those digital crappy game. Maybe there's one. If there's 4-5 Switch or something like 4-5 Stitch or something like that.
Made by Ubisoft and it's on the end cap. Yep. Carnival games.
Or those digital games, those shovelware digital games that be there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hentai golf, yeah.
Yeah.
Real game, look it up. Yeah, like it just, I don't know, man. There's so many factors to this stuff, and nobody's willing to like just discuss that. It's always like, I want this quick headline. I'm not going to delve deep into why this is actually true or false, because it kind of goes both ways. There's some layer of, oh yeah, games adjusted for inflation. Yeah, they did cost this much. But let me tell you why that doesn't actually matter.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly. Like people, yeah. So people still using that excuse. It's like, whatever, man. And yeah,
games are getting more
and the whole thing that you feel the gamers are so entitled and stuff like that. It's like, yo, I'm a fucking consumer. I'm fucking entitled. I want. What the fuck?
Exactly.
We being fucking entitled. Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah,
These
sure
TVs, I'm buying an 86-inch TV for $200 nowadays. I should be spending $12 million on this based on what I used to pay for a TV back in the day when I got my 19-inch. Like, no,
Yeah.
what are we talking about here? Yeah, because technology got cheaper. You're right. And why? Why did technology get cheaper? Now, if you want to get into, okay, yeah, we should be using AI to make things easier to make. Speed Tree came along, right? Now I didn't have to individually paint each tree. Like, okay, let's do some research on that. How can I use NVIDIA's tools to make this giant city so I don't have to remodel Manhattan every time I want to make a Spider-Man game and cost $20 billion? But like, I don't know. We're getting to a point where this is ridiculous and the conversation is not being had as to why like a lot of this stuff is anti-consumer. I mean, we're already at a point where like everything is anti-worker. Now we're also, I mean, we've always been anti-consumer, but like it's worse now. It's worse than it's been in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, only because
say this is the worst time to be alive, but like,
yeah,
things aren't
because
the
pay hasn't gone up. Like, it's one thing to be anti-consumer, but when like anti-consumer and the cost is,
yeah,
like your pay hasn't really like how much you get paid doesn't really reflect how much things cost. Like, it's just not. Yeah, it's worse. Yeah, it makes things worse. And you know what? And people use this. I mean, people say the things are like, well, you don't have to have games. This is just a luxury thing. You say, yeah, you're right. That is totally true. But you know what? I mean, but thing is, people want to still enjoy life.
I was gonna say, but who wants a
like
life where all they do is, well, I have shelter and I have food?
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
What kind of life is that? Is that a life? Like, yeah, like I exist as a human being. Great job, thanks. I have no interests. I have no hobbies. I have no personality. Because none of them have formed, because all I need is food and shelter. Yeah. And when I'm not in my shelter, I'm at my work. Yeah, I just, it really sucks. All right, Dominic, that is the news that I've seen over these past 2 weeks. Anything else that you maybe saw that caught your interest?
Nah, man, I'm good.
All right, we'll get into new releases here real quick. First up, Doom: The Dark Ages. We talked about that earlier. That's out on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S on Game Pass as well. You also have Capcom Fighting Collection for the PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox One.
Yeah, that's the
That
one with the
is,
SNK versus, right?
yeah, that's the SNK stuff. That's the more obscure stuff like Power Stone and Plasma Swords, stuff like that. I think the Alpha games might be on there too, or an Alpha game, one of the Street Fighters.
I was about to say, I thought Alpha Games was.
Yeah, there was also an Alpha collection, wasn't there?
Yeah.
So,
When are they gonna do the EX collection, the 3D Street Fighter?
honestly, I mean, they're getting to the point where they're kind of running out of things, so it might be next. Yeah, okay. They have Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper on this, as well as Capcom Fighting Evolution, Capcom versus SNK Millennium Fight 2000 Pro, and
The Street Fighter movie in one of these collections too, like the movie
you know
game,
what? I
the movie
wonder if
game,
there's like some
because there was a movie
licensing
game.
issue where they can't do that.
Yeah, it's probably is, but it,
Street
yeah, it was a
Fighter,
movie
the
game. I
the
remember
game.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I remember that in the magazine being like, "Oh man, this looks kind of slick. They need to do this." They didn't do that in Mortal Kombat, Dominic. They need, when this next Mortal Kombat game comes out. I mean, I guess they kind of. Well, I was gonna say they kind of tried to do that, but they just put different actors in there. They didn't put the actual actors from the movie in there. Like here,
No.
Claude Van Damme is Johnny Cage instead of, Carl Urban or whoever's gonna be him in this new one. All right. Oh yeah, this one has Project Justice in it too, which is the Rival Schools sequel, but like it doesn't have Rival Schools in it. So I remember looking at Rival Schools and being like envious of that back in the day. It's like, oh, I can play as a baseball player and hit people with a bat. That seems kind of cool. All right.
Yeah, they don't have that what you call a game, right? What was the one that came out on the Wii? The Capcom versus Japanese cartoons. Yeah, whatever.
I think it's Tetsunoku versus Capcom.
Yeah, the Japanese cartoons that I never watched, I've never seen really. That I mean,
Where's
I
Voltron? How come Voltron's not in there? You just got that.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, darn man, I don't know these.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen that guy with like the bird hat on before,
absolutely.
but I don't know what the. Yeah, I've seen him before, but that's it. Was Speed Racer in there?
I think he might.
Speed Racer wasn't in there then, man. I don't know none of those fucking shit. It's like, what the fuck is this? Like, where's Hello Kitty at or something like that?
It's still shocking to me that is a Wii exclusive game that never came anywhere.
Exactly,
else.
Man. Good God.
Let's be Ken the Eagle, Dominic. I wonder if that's the guy we're thinking of with the
okay,
the white helmet. Oh, yep, that's exactly who it is. His name is Ken the Eagle. Oh, that's great. All right, Dominic. Next up, we've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Splintered Fate, now out on the PC and PS5. That is
that's the isometric.
Yeah, like
it's supposed to be a roguelite.
Yeah, like Hades.
So it's the Hades. It's the turtle, the Hades version of Ninja Turtles.
Yep. Ninja Turtle Hades. I've heard okay things about it. That's been out on other stuff. This is the first time it's just coming to the Sony consoles. We also have Monster Train 2 out now on the PC, Nintendo Switch, PS5, and Xbox family of consoles.
And it's on Game Pass.
You had played Monster Train 1, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I liked it.
Yeah.
And I know I was looking at the trailer. It looks the damn same to me, but the trailer the trailer said like, oh, now you can do fight like multiple levels at once, which I'm trying to think. I guess you didn't do that before. I don't know. I mean, I have to play it to understand.
It's kind of crazy to me, like how much this game just looks like a generic phone game. Like I hate to be dismissive about that, but it very much looks like what's that free to play Brawlhalla? It kind of looks like that.
Oh yeah.
But I know people have been very positive on
Like the
Monster
Clash of
Train.
Clans stuff. Like, and now I'm seeing a lot of other forum games. 'Cause I'm seeing like something that LeBron is even advertising with. I mean, the commercial's pretty
Oh,
funny
really?
though. I like it.
Okay.
Where he because you
Uh-oh.
see him working out,
Becoming a
but he's working out with
LeBron
his
fan, huh?
fingers. He's
Oh, okay.
he's working out with his fingers. Like you see him lifting weights, this stuff. You say, and it was like, hey, y'all think it's a game? You say it is. It is just like that.
Oh my goodness.
It was pretty funny. But then it's like you look at the either the mascots or the characters, and it's like they all look the same. It's like
Yeah.
you could tell me that's Clans, and I would just believe you. I would just believe because I was like they look the same.
It's called Royal Kingdom. Like they aren't even trying. Come on, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I was like, because I think it was my old man who was watching. He's like, hey, you say, isn't that game been out already? I said, I don't. I said, Dad, I said, like, you might be talking about like some other game because they all look the same. Because they all make them have those probably same art style, cartoon look,
Yeah.
and they're probably wearing some type of armor, like some armor in even Roman times or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
and they all look the same. Just to confuse people like you and just think like, hey, this is the same people who did this game and I like that game, so I'm gonna get it. And it's probably not, but whatever. Oh man, I've seen a lot of advertising for like these gambling, but they're like gambling games. It's like, hey, you could win this prize and stuff like that. And it's like, man,
That's I was just
how much
about to say at least LeBron's like promoting this instead of gambling, but at the same time, what's the difference?
he still promotes gambling.
Ah, okay. Well,
I mean,
screw him on that.
he's the DraftKings with
Oh yeah,
Kevin
he
Hart.
is. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that commercial comes on anymore, but still, I mean, it's not like if he did stop, it's not because of this is wrong.
Yeah.
And the guy who I thought who I was listening to about sports who I didn't see the gambling thing for, I was like, oh man, he's like the only one does it. Nah, I'd watched long enough. He did advertise something.
He just wasn't good
and
enough to get the gambling ads yet. That's
yeah,
all.
yeah. He doesn't get it good enough to have it like pasted on his corner of
That's
his
why I'm
videos.
talking crap right now,
Yeah.
Dominic. But in 2 weeks, once we hit that number, whew,
Oh yeah,
DraftKings
I'm
ads are
definitely gonna be
getting.
talk about like, oh yeah, you should get the FanDuel and put in the code something super pod. And here's my
Yep.
bets. I bet that the Orioles are gonna lose by 2 runs in this game, something like that.
I'm gonna bet that Jeff Keighley announces his love for Kojima on stage.
Yeah.
All right, and then the last game I got here, Dominic, Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun Words of Vengeance. And I was like, what is this? Is this like an expansion for that Bolt Gun game? As it turns out, this is a free-to-play Typing of the Dead like game. So I have downloaded this to give it a try because I always thought the novelty of like the Typing of the Dead stuff was pretty fun.
And they brought back Vermintide too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, on the Game Pass. They brought that back, and it's kind of weird. I mean, I'm gonna say weird, but it's like kind of funny because they still have the other one up there too.
Not Vermintide 3's right around the corner.
Yeah, but it's like the 2 versions. It's the 40K type of game, and then it's got the old version like that. That's more. I think. Yeah, I kind of like the newer version better, only because I mean I don't know. I mean, I kind of go with that one better, but even I'm not playing as much. I kind of wish my friends would just try it out to see if they like it, because I would play it more if they were playing. But I don't know. But still, it's like I was saying about Left 4 Dead, not Left 4, yeah, Left 4 Dead, yeah, yeah, Left 4 Dead is that I would like this game because I think somebody was saying the same thing. I had sent you that I just want a game that's simple like that doesn't deal with me having to level up a character to get weapons and stuff like that. I just want it to be that, look, I get to get a weapon or something like that, and you get the weapons that's on the stage or whatever, and you just go through and shoot, man. It's like I don't need you to overcomplicate it with a leveling system or anything like that, man.
Yeah.
I just want a simple just game like that. I don't need all that. Like the most you can do like you would do microtransactions. Just do the cosmetic ones. Just be like, hey,
Right.
now hey, I look like a cool thing. I mean, I feel like that's all you really need, man. Don't do this leveling system up stuff, man. It just makes it not fun for me because it just takes some more. Because like, oh, I gotta keep playing because I want to level up. But it's not. No, I just want to play just for the fun of it, and I don't want to be like, oh, I'm weak. It's like, oh man, I guess. I said, well, if you have this card boost in this one, you'll have like you get more health or something like that if you get this, or you get somewhere you say, oh, you get more ammo. I was like, I want that to be something like I unlock while in the game. Maybe there be something there in the game that you can pick up because you kill an enemy or something, but nothing that I have to. Oh, maybe my guys have to equip these car stuff in here so like when we go in the game. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
That's what made that game so
there's
good, man.
Like some level of these developers trying to figure out like how to hook people to keep them coming back so they can potentially sell them cosmetics versus just making a game that people like playing so much that they keep coming back.
And they keep coming back. Exactly. I was like, that was not a
problem
for
trying
Left
to
4
make
Dead.
things hooky instead of
yeah
making a game that is hooky.
That was not a problem Left 4 Dead. Was that, oh man, it's not. I wish I could unlock more stuff to keep me coming to play. Some reason we played no matter what. We still played the game. We didn't unlock anything new. We didn't get no new costumes or nothing like that. But people still kept playing. Yeah, man. I just want something simple like that, man. But it's like now you can't make a game unless you're still making money from it.
Yeah. All right, Dominic. Anything else for the people this week?
Nah, man, I'm good.
All right. Thank you guys as always for listening. You check us out on Twitter. Dominic's at DStallworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Superpod, SUPAPOD. We are also on Blue Sky at superpod.com, at regulusmb.sky.social, and at DinoMan at DominicStallworth.bluesky.social. We also have a website, superpod.com, where you can find all of the previous podcasts, as well as links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, YouTube Music, Spotify, and Amazon Music or Audible. And until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right, see you.